Hello, friends. This is your ASMR Snap Judgments. I'll be your host. Today I'm joined by Nick, the Greek Geek. It's late at night. We're late starting. And Nick might as well be pregnant because he's always late. Hi, Nick.
Okay, I'm not
He's
going to do
trying
that
to
too
do it.
long
He
because
can't. He couldn't
someone.
dream.
No, because I know this like any longer, and we lose like 3/4 of the audience, and I know for some people it might as well just be no. So I will leave it be as that. Hi, Glazer. Welcome in. I hope your hangover has cleared. I hope the karaoke was good. I hope the typhoon was not too bad. It seemed like it was going to be calmer than it was expected. So hopefully you didn't wash away too hard.
So I don't get hungover. Hangovers are for people who drink poorly. Every 2 drinks, I have 1 full cup of water, and I'm never hungover. It
Good
is
man.
not that fucking complicated. Act like an adult. Um, I got a kid. I can't just walk around all day. Look, I might be tired the next day. My body is not happy at being awake at 2 a.m. But hey, yeah, if you are like, I get hungover all the time, every 2 drinks, drink a cup of water and grow up.
Okay, I just want to interrupt really quickly.
Mhm.
So I was asking what the plan was for tonight. You corrected me saying Saturday night, I think. I have dinner and karaoke plans, so I'll be hungover.
Yes.
I have
Yeah.
the text record.
Hungover is shorthand for like I ain't waking up early and doing shit. It was just it was one word instead of being like, and even though I won't be hungover, I don't want to go to sleep at 3 a.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. in order to record a podcast when I will be tired and then have to take my family out immediately after. That would be a terrible idea and leave me very grumpy. So that's a lot more words,
Wait,
whereas hungover was fun.
grumpy-er, you mean?
Hey, I'm not grumpy. I am smiling like one of our guests. Smiles! Hi, Smiles.
Hi.
Yeah, transitions, baby.
That was certainly an intro today. Doing good. Excited to be on the podcast and ready to talk some Snap.
Smiles, do me a favor and tell us where we can find your Snap show, which is much, much better than my Snap show.
Well, I don't know about that, but you can find us at youtube.com/@SnapAcademyYT. I host the 8 Cube Circus there alongside my guests. Co-hosts, really. I just joke calling them guests. Dennis and Zenaid. We have 1 episode per week. Have a variety of guests on the channel. Latest episode was all about Snap's locations.
If you want to get better at Snap, it's the best show to listen to. It's not even close. And the lesson of the show is if Zenaid says something, the louder he says it, the less likely he is to be right. So as long as you keep that in mind, you're going to have a fucking great time with the show. So like if he's just having a conversation and forgets to be aggressive about it, he's usually really right. But if he yells it, he's fucking with you. And then he's wrong. You can usually listen to Smiles and I don't know, how hella adjacent is it for if you should listen to Dennis? Go ahead.
Dennis is pretty hella build.
A little bit.
I mean, we've all played the game. I mean, even Dennis has played decks that aren't hella, so we all understand a good bit of the game. It's fun banter. Occasionally, you'll get some game shows on there. You can see once in a few episodes. We might not talk about serious Snap, and we might do something silly. Just tune in to find out.
Yeah, definitely make sure you're there. Great guest, great show. They had their first guest. It's a fairly big name. I'm not going to say who it is. I know I could, but instead I'm going to send you to go watch. And if you don't, you'll be all doomed and gloomed. Like our other guest, Doomaluma. Hi, Doom. Luma.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
That wasn't as strong of a transition, but I do my best. How
I'm really
can our
happy
friends
to
find
be
you?
here on this nighttime Snap.
There you go.
Find me at twitch.tv/Doomaluma, no space, DOOMALUMMA. I'm really happy to be here. This is my first time ever. I'm kind of fangirling right now because I've been watching you guys for months and months. So I've had a few decks posted by Snap Judgments, and I geek out about it. So I'm really happy to be here. So let's talk some Snap.
Happy to have you here. And Dumaluma goes to the Nick the Greek Geek school of choosing Twitch names that are easy to find for people. There must be something spelled in it that will be confusing for people. So, Nick the Greek Geek, how can people find you?
Very carefully, and apparently not streaming because it's been a long time since I've done that. You can find me on Twitch or in someone else's stream using my username, which is Nick. Instead of THE, I went with DA, and it makes even more fun every time I have to explain that when I say my name. And then it's Greek Geek afterwards. All one word.
All right. This week's episode is, reasonably simple. We're going to talk about the new cards. Then we're going to talk about the OTA, because this OTA is absurdly huge. I think it's not as big as the last one, right? But it's like since it's lasting, it's in many ways more impactful. And then we're going to talk about some things they didn't touch and what they mean and like the theory and ideas around that. But let's start with this week's new card, which is Warlock. Warlock is a 3/3 Series 5, which means 6,000 tokens. I'm going to remind people, because apparently no one knows this, but hey, if you don't own more than one card in Snap Packs, and you only want one card in Snap Packs, spend 6,000 tokens, not 5,000 tokens. It is a giant bad idea to be like, well, I want 1 in 3 Snap Pack. You are now throwing away 5,000 tokens instead of just spending 6,000, because you still have to spend the 6,000 to get the card you want. However, you probably don't want Warlock. Activate for each unspent energy, give a card in your hand, -1 cost. And we'll just go Duma, Smiles, Nick as our order. Duma, take us away.
I'm not too impressed with this card. The decks are kind of like all over the place with it. I've seen people trying to do it in even like normal Galactus decks. I've had people, people are trying to Sarah and what's the word? I mean, there's Sarah, Hope Summers, Jen Kale, and I don't really play those kinds of decks. They just kind of, I don't see the big point. I mean, you can play like the Thing first steps and Galactus first steps and try to blink big stuff in, but I'm not thinking it's too good. I think it's kind of a pass for me.
Smiles.
I'll just give you the short of it. This card sucks. I mean, 3/3 with this text box is absurd. This is the flaw, I think, with this card is it's a win more card. So in these cost like discount archetypes, most of them run like She-Hulk, like Moon Girl, She-Hulk. This is obviously the kind of like archetype I think they were aiming for with this deck. That deck's problem isn't discounts. The deck's problem is Mobius. So I don't really see a future for this card at 3/3. If you get to 3/4, maybe you can kind of justify it. 3/5, I think it's pretty solid. I definitely think that a 3-cost activate that takes 3 turns to work, 1 turn to play it, 1 turn to not spend the energy, and 1 turn to get the discounts. It takes 3 turns. You effectively have to play this guy on 3 or he's a dead card. I think 3/5 could definitely be warranted here. But I think that the stats need to change on this card for it to work. I don't think you can meaningfully adjust the ability, but as for now, just save your tokens. I buy it because I stay Series 5 complete, but I have not touched this card once. This card is just not interesting. It just dies to Mobius even harder.
Yeah, this is a card that pops out and says, oh, if you were thinking about playing Mobius, you should really play it now. However, that animation, really, really cool. I think it's probably one of the coolest animations of the most recent cards. And there have been some cool animations. I really, really like it. Not enough to justify a Series 5 card. I was able to get the weekend missions done relatively easily, but it never felt like I was making the right choice by playing this card over another card. And that's something I think that really factors in. I had tried quite a few different decks. And it's got potential in a different environment. I think what Smiles said, changing the power. But at 3/3 with the activates, I don't even think Jocasta can bail this card out. I definitely don't think Jocasta can, because I think Jocasta is a 4 cost. So when you play,
Jocasta's 3.
Oh, issue 3? Okay. But still, I don't know if that is enough to...
It's not.
Yeah. Mid-card
So,
mid?
I mean, all right. I think I slightly disagree with the problem being Mobius. The problem is the point of doing She-Hulk bullshit is the curve is really, really, really tight, right? Like you have to have Warlock on exactly 3, Moon Girl on exactly 4 if that's what you want to do, and good fucking luck, the math on that is not in your favor. Like the sheer number of times I've drawn Moon Girl on 5 or Warlock on 5, and you're just like, well, thanks. There goes the whole deck. But like the whole point of doing that is to avoid Shang, and Shang doesn't exist. So it doesn't put up enough points. Like I played this deck doing double She-Hulk hit monkey shit, and they just be like, yeah, Human Torch, kiss some ass, right? Like you don't have any space for tech or to do anything but try and do this combo. And if the combo was good enough, it's certainly not right now. I don't think
discounting She-Hulk is so useless too. Like it's just it makes no sense.
I've gotten She-Hulk down to a 3 with Warlock, and then I'm like, oh great, it's extra 0. That's fun. It's not good. Like it needs to cost 2, or it needs to give -1/+1, because I don't think I give a shit about it even as a 3/5.
I don't know about -1/+1. That sounds
-1/+1 makes it real, right?
Really good.
Now you're giving 5 discount and 5 power. Then it's a 3/3, and it's great. I'm not playing it as a 3/5. I think it's a garbage 3/5.
I think that's like the baseline to make it a consideration if they don't want to go scary. I think to make this card good, it needs to probably be like a 2/2.
Yeah, I think a 2/2. This is great. Give me multiple turns to play it, multiple options. I'd play it as a 2/2. They just don't want to make more broken 2s, right? That they then have to nerf the 3s.
I mean,
yeah,
2s right now aren't that broken. They nerfed a lot of the good ones. The only 2 that are like crazy.
Yeah.
No, there's only 1. It's like Sparky. That's it.
Surge is pretty good right now.
Surge
and Hand.
I've always found Surge very overrated. Victoria Hand, sure. I've always found Surge very overrated.
I agreed until this meta. All of a sudden, I think Surge matters.
I think it's good, but I think it's not as good in a lot of decks as many people think. But we'll get to it.
It's probably good. We'll move on. If we're talking about Surge, we can move on from Warlock in a minute. I think Surge is really good right now because every other 2 I want to run is nerfed, and I still need to run 2 drops in my tempo decks. And occasionally she's great, right? Like the extra power on things messes up my math an awful lot when I'm playing against Surge and when I'm using Surge.
Definitely get some cube equity there.
All right, we'll talk more about Surge later. First, though, Danger. Danger is the card we all got for free in Deadpool's Diner. If you didn't get Danger for free, you Deadpool Dinered wrong. That was the easiest and most generous. I guess we should talk about that, too. Let's talk about Danger, then we'll talk about Deadpool's Diner. Deadpool's Diner, the remake. 4/6, activate, destroy an enemy card here with less power. Duma?
I don't like this one either. I just don't like it. I'd rather play so many other things on 4 than Danger. I have no fear playing into a Danger lane. In fact, sometimes I'll just go ahead and throw my bigger cards into that lane, knowing it's not doing anything, and people will try to like win other lanes out. I don't know. It's just unless you're not buffing this card, right? It's going in like into what decks? End of turn, and what else is? I'm not even sure what else it goes into. I haven't even played against it, to be honest, too awful much. So I don't even really have a good opinion on it. I haven't played it at all, so that's how I feel about it.
I mean, I think this card is good. Just baseline 4/6 destroy something. This is probably playing for like a 4/10 most of the time, mostly unconditionally. I'd say that's good. I think there's quite a bit of good targets right now for it. Like stuff in moves, stuff just like you can maybe target like a buff, like you can target a Madam Web, you can target maybe a Craven that had nothing moved to its lane. I think this card is good. I think that we haven't found the right decks for it. I think a lot of I think Fenris Wolf could be interesting here, even though Fenris is not that good right now. This is on the Fenris curve. So this would go Fenris on 3, Danger on 4, blow up something your Fenris is now playing for like 8, 9, 10. I think that's pretty good. I think it's a little underexplored. I think with Killmonger coming back, that's definitely a massive plus for this card because you can destroy a lot of the low value targets with Killmonger and Danger hit something high value. I think you can definitely buff this card. This is a deck that you do want to be running Surge in a Danger deck, I think. Just really cards like Gwenpool, stuff like that. I think that's interesting. I know a lot of Thing First Steps Ghost Spider stuff has been done lately. I think you could probably do Danger Ghost Spider as well. I don't think this card is amazing, but I do think this card is good. I think it's way better than Warlock, to put it out there minimum. But I think this card is all right. I think you will regret not getting this card, but I don't think it's as good as like an Airwalker.
I mean, it's hard to follow that up. That was very comprehensive, and I think it expresses a lot of the experience with this card. I've seen it literally twice, and I played a lot of Deadpool's Diner. I saw very few people playing it. I think the one time I did see it played, it was an Arishem deck, and it was not their card. I think it's got potential. I think it's different. It's just finding out where it fits, and I don't think we're near that yet. I don't think it's something that people have really played with, which is weird. Like, it was an easy card to get, but yet I don't know if it speaks to people like even Warlock does. In all honesty, I think this is a better card than Warlock, but I think it just doesn't have the same interest to it in what can we create. It is not the weak Series 5 card. It was a Deadpool's Diner. And that just feels like it's forgettable, like Gorgon was, like a lot of other cards were.
Sometimes they release a Marvel Snap card after all of its friends were nerfed. And that changes our perception of the card a lot. This was almost certainly tested with a 3/3 Negasonic, with a 2/3 Fenris Wolf, with this whole different suite of friends that, with a proper Shang-Chi, with a whole different set of friends that made it effective. And all those friends got nerfed. Like, literally, like 5 cards I want to run with this card got nerfed. So it's not as good as it was going to be. It's still a 4/10, probably. It's still decent. It's still a card that you're not going to be sad to run. I think it probably deserves a second look in Wiccan decks. Like, this plus something after a Wiccan, this plus a 3-drop after a Wiccan seems like a powerful thing to do. In a way that, like, I would be happy to play it. Also, I really like the idea of playing it on turn 5. You're more likely to hit things like Victoria Hand or Viv Vision, Victoria Hand or Invisible Woman for steps with it at the end of the game. I do think that almost the instant the next card we're going to talk about comes out, we do want to invest in Danger. All of a sudden, Danger does become a card worth having. It's a tech card, and that means that the things that it wants to tech against have to exist. And we exist in a meta where people are putting up literally more points than ever in single lanes. And that means Danger's not as impressive as she was. Or as she would otherwise be. She's also now much closer to Negasonic. And some distance between those two cards would have helped, because I think Negasonic is probably better, because Negasonic is easier to use. It's less conditional. I do think that there's eventually going to be a deck that just sort of does all the tech cards again. And when we do, Danger will be one of all the tech cards that is pretty good. Like, we're already seeing buff and thing first steps, right? If we're already buffing cards, I don't think buff and Danger is much worse, and we might just want to go double thing first steps in those types of lists. Like, in Danger and thing first steps would be double thing first steps, right? I can see this having homes. I just don't think that. I think that they decided to do a giant experiment right before they released her, and then they didn't put enough back after the experiment to make her good again. I think she's going to be great. Eventually, this is going to be a card that's going to, like, actually cause problems.
Yeah, looking at the stats, there's just not a lot of games with her, to be perfectly honest. The ones that are there, like one deck with 110 games has a 60% win rate. Like, it's an end of turn deck, but I think your take on the other thing first steps is accurate, and she don't have to have a lane full in order for her to do her thing.
So I think this isn't going back to the end of turn. I think it's possibly something worth looking at in that like safety blade deck instead of Stardust.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
Jocasta, right? Like Jocasta would make this.
I think an iteration of end of turn with this, pretty good.
If you can cut Stardust and Mobius, and that's obviously a meta call, right? If you can cut Stardust and Mobius and run Jocasta and Danger in that deck, and then you probably make one of those extra one-drop slots Zabu, right? And then you're just like, okay, now what? Although the question you're going to run into there is she actually better than Fantastic Car? Right? I'm not 100% sure. That's
I think
in mirrors, it's better than Fantastic Car.
I think it might be. We can get more into it when we talk about Jocasta, though.
Yeah. Well, let's do that because we're done with Danger, since we're literally just talking about Jocasta now. Jocasta comes out this week, and Jocasta is obviously a stupidly and hugely important card. Wait, what? I'm zoomed in again? No, I'm not zoomed in. Leave me alone. I fixed it. I think I fixed it. Sorry. Jocasta seems like the most important card of the season. She is a 3/3, not a 3/4. I just haven't bothered to update the image. I will for when she comes out properly. Immediately activate your other cards here without using up their activate abilities. This card's important and good. Duma?
I think this card is going to be really fun. The fact that you can activate an activate card on turn 6 is just great. Like if you top deck your Invisible Woman or you top deck your Fenris Wolf, if you're playing some random C5, nah, you wouldn't do that. But I mean, think about it. I mean, you can activate your Sparky turn 6 and remove things. You can activate your Aranya. You can activate. I mean, there's so much you can do with this. Activate cards are kind of dead draws, after even turn 5. I mean, you're gonna be playing your big cards turn 5. Usually, you're not gonna. And on turn 5, you can still activate cards. But I mean, if you draw them turn 6, now you will be able to actually have play into things, and I think that's awesome. So that's how I feel about it.
Okay, so I think this card is pretty clearly going to be the best of the season. I mean, look at if you don't see it, look at Invisible Woman First Steps and look what she did for every other card released that season, minus like Fantastic First Steps. She made them all better. I guess Torch,
she made
but that was
First Steps better. Just
she
not
did.
Because of her ability.
It was just already good.
Yeah.
Look at Thing First Steps there. It just got so much better with that, and I think that End of Turn is still probably the best way to use Thing First Steps. I think it's still probably the best Thing First Steps deck. But she did so much for cards like Havoc and stuff like that. This card is literally that for cards like Omega Sentinel. I think Omega Sentinel is probably number 1 on the list of cards I want to try with this, just because I think afflicting for 2 -7s and having Sentinel play for a 4/17 is just pretty good. This card works with Danger as well. So if you're using, the reason I think Danger might just be better than Fantasticar in that list as well is because your Jocasta lane you want to have multiple activates in. And your activates aren't the ones getting the power, so they're going to be worse. If you activate Danger twice, she's destroying 2 cards in that lane, making it a lot easier for you to win that lane with now 3/3, 4/6, 3/5. That's 14 power. So they have half a lane, and they have to have those 2 cards in that half a lane beat 14 power, which is quite a significant ask, even though might not be unless you're playing against Move, which is ridiculous. But I think that this card is extremely strong. I think we'll have to look into activates a bit more. I think doing this card with I think this card makes like Awesome Andy even better. I mean, I already think that's a pretty decent card now, but getting a second proc, making him a 2/10, that's good. I think Jocasta is a card that I'm not excited to see release because I didn't quite enjoy the End of Turn meta just because it's so like homogeneous, like everybody's running the same stuff. But I do think this card is really, really good, and it's going to be a must-have.
Yeah, don't sleep on this card. Even if it's not perfect, even if there's any like like the first week it's going to be nuts because it's going to be like high Evo. Everybody's going to be playing this card, I think. But this feels like the Alioth or the. Actually, no, let's just stick with that. This feels like the Alioth. Like when Alioth came out, it was the last card of the month. It felt super impactful. Wasn't it?
It was the second card of the
month.
month.
I thought it was the last card of that season.
No,
anyway,
it was the second.
Loki was first that month. It's Loki season. That season is super fucking memorable.
Oh, yeah.
Mobius was the last card of the month.
Oh, right. Okay, fair. But this feels on
the
that
other
same
card,
level
by the way,
of
was Ravonna.
I believe Kochia used to call her Ravonna Rank Slayer.
It was a well, she was a 3/4, but it was a September. It is literally
yeah. End of turn is just gonna love this. This is gonna be great for that deck.
This makes me wonder if cards like Ghost might actually serve some purpose, at least for that first week. So it might not be a bad idea to have that in your back pocket to slot in place of some other tech card, because I expect to see a lot of people doing this. But it just seems crazy. The fact that Danger can be triggered twice versus Thing First Steps, who's still only once. Like, yeah, he gets that 2 power. He can only destroy 1 card. Imagine if you have Invisible Woman First Steps, Omega Sentinel, and Danger in a lane, and then throw Jocasta down. Like,
well, you can't without an extra turn.
Magic and
whatever. Elysium game,
but
easy.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, you just got to get Elysium, just like fishing for World Chip. But still, like, even with taking one of those out, you get Invisible Woman First Steps down, you get Omega Sentinel down, and then you get Jocasta down, and you've got Athena on the board from earlier. That's, I don't know, that seems like a lot.
You think Sparky and Aranya are going to like this? Like, do you think this could slot into that one spot in the move deck?
I think the thing with move is that it already gets big enough, and it's really just there's 2 flex spots in the deck. There's one tall flex spot in the deck, and there's a tall one, and then there's one that's like 3 cost tech card. Most of the time it's Cosmo. Early Warlock week I was running Mobius there, but it's like you're playing those 2 to hurt others, not boost yourself up. When you're playing move, your problem isn't the points, it's your opponent interacting with you. So I don't think so, but you can definitely run a lot worse cards in that slot, and this on top of an Aranya Sparky lane sounds good.
It does sound good, because if you don't draw that torch, man, you can really, be getting your dagger pumping up, and I don't know, seems kind of fun. The Omega Sentinel, though, that's gonna be unbelievable.
I think I'm more interested in Bullseye.
I was thinking about that too, but what else are you gonna? Is that his only target?
I don't want to see Bullseye anymore.
A 40 powered Mobius.
A single fucking. If I play this and I discard a single swarm, I think that's probably enough.
That's gross.
Like, you run this and Bastion, and you just say, "All right, well, I've got 10 bajillion-ish points."
But do you really want to see an LDS meta where everyone's either playing Bullseye or LDS?
Oh no, I think Jocasta's a bad choice. Not because I don't think she's great, but because I think she's going to homogenize the meta in a very real way. Like, we're gonna see either her decks move or like Cosmic Ghost Rider Danger shit to try and blow it up, right? Like Lady Deathstrike, whatever the best way to blow that stuff up turns out.
We're already seeing a bit of CGR.
The fudge ball.
Fudge ball. This LDS, because LDS does hit this now, which I think is like needed. At 3/4, I think this card is just ridiculous. 3/3, there's a little bit more counterplay that makes it.
It's also like Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's either going to hit this or the thing it's trying to activate, right? Like,
yeah, CGR is by far the best counter. Oh, I don't think
I don't think Super Adaptoid matters. I guess
it's a 3/5 tech card. So I mean, sure. It can't be that bad.
So yeah, it's fine, but like, I don't think I care, if that makes sense.
I mean, hey, you gotta bring back the Surfer.
I mean,
yeah. No, Cerebro 5. Cerebro 5 is better than Surfer. Sorry.
I don't play Cerebro. That's cringe.
Look, I don't like Cerebro either, but it's better than Surfer.
Probably.
Like,
Surfer needs something.
I'm doing a lot of work for a +2 buff, or I can get a +6 buff.
Yeah. Make Brute a 3/3. That's my take. Buff Surfer.
If you Jocasta 3, Fantastic Heart 4, and then you Invisible Woman Thena activate Jocasta, you win. That's it. Is that the game?
Athena just goes to 6 on top. You'll have a 12 power. No, because then that your Athena will be 16 at the end of the game. So you just need realistically just like I don't know, like a sunspot, and then play like 2 1s on 6, so your sunspot goes up. And I guess
I don't
know. Just
reactivate.
Just Jug, actually.
Yeah, just
Jug's
Jug.
better. If there's a problem, Juggernaut's probably the answer.
I mean, I don't know what to do with, like, this is such a weird thing to say, but thank God this isn't releasing into a real meta. Like, if this was releasing into a real mid-range meta, where, like, everyone's just playing, like, regular good cards, it would break things.
Dude, Fan-Fei, that's it, dude.
You can activate Fan-Fei twice.
But then there's nothing in Fan-Fei's lane. She's not in Fan-Fei's lane the second time.
Well,
then
Sparky
something gets moved back. There's a Hercules middle. That's what happens.
There you go. You herk it. Herk and jerk it. All right. In the meantime, like, yeah, in a regular meta, in the real... Oh, Brady says Fan-Fei, Heimdall, Jocasta.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That actually works.
It's going to be gross.
All right. Either which way, reversing that disgusting course of thought, if we were playing a regular mid-range meta where people weren't going to 50 power in lanes, where there weren't like 10 deck after 10 deck after 10 deck and all that other nonsense, I think that this card would absolutely break everything. I'm not convinced it's not going to now absolutely break everything, but like because Human Torch doesn't give a shit about this, because the like Scar decks can go over the top of this, I think that this is much less a problem than it would otherwise be, but it's still probably a problem. Like, this changes the you must be this tall to ride level of the meta.
I think you'll start seeing I think you've got 2 options here. So they could, if this does similar things to what Invisible Woman First Steps did, in the sense that end of turn just went way taller on the you have to be this tall to ride. They could either make the activates weaker, which don't really know is the answer, or you might look to like buff a lot of like the synergy pieces and decks like Surfer that are starting to get just straight up out points.
Yeah. Is it healthy? And if not, what does it need to be healthy?
I think that this is a healthy card if it was released like maybe a few months later when the power level of the rest of the meta has caught up. Because I mean, the stuff we're doing now is a lot more powerful than the stuff we were doing in this time last year in terms of just straight up numbers. So I think that this card, again, it's a numbers card. We'll see. It might result in like activates being nerfed, like the activate text on them. Like maybe we could see Omega Sentinel going to like a 4/5 -5. Just some things that you're not actually nerfing the card, you're just nerfing Jocasta. I think if it's a real problem, we might see less power tied up in activated abilities and more of those cards getting base power. So like, hey, it's a more generic card that you can plug and play more, but it is worse in Jocasta.
Yeah, I'm with it. All right, let's talk OTA. All right, so not on this are 2 cards by accident. So we're missing the 2 cards that were changed but not changed back. There is no Enchantress, who's now a 5/8, and Negasonic, who's now a 4/5. Let's actually start with Enchantress and Negasonic so I don't forget them later. Let's start with Enchantress. Doom?
Enchantress at 5. It's kind of hard for me because I do enjoy playing the 10s deck sometimes, and I think 5 is just too big a cost. What is she, 5/8 now? 5/8. I don't see too much ongoing in my meta, especially. It doesn't make me want to play Rogue either. I'm not really doing any of that. I'm mostly, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, Negasonic, Juggernaut kind of guy, Cannonball Mercury. So, I mean, I completely dropped Enchantress. I did play her at 4. At 5, I don't like her as much. So, I hope they keep her there, though, because I also don't enjoy seeing Enchantress when I am playing, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think she's pretty dead, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, this is going to be 2 completely different sides. This is the most I've seen Enchantress since that tech slot meta, and this is my favorite change they've made in a while to a card. 5/8 Enchantress, I think, is great for multiple reasons. One, you need like actual justification to run the tech card. You can't just say, I'm just going to shove this tech card in my deck. You have to like actually consider it and deck build around it. You need to start running cards like Luna Snow. You need to possibly consider a Surge or a Merlin to get extra ramp out. You need to you could be playing Sauron decks where you're using it as an offensive and a defensive tool to attack your opponent's cards and keep your cards without their abilities. This card also 5/8, straight up a buff, I think. This card feels so much more impactful when it is played as compared to a 4/6. You're running this in Hela. You're running this in Sauron. I'm seeing so much more Enchantress. I lost 4 to an Enchantress in Bounce yesterday, which, why would you play this card in Bounce when it's a 5 cost, but also good on you. I just had to sit there and clap. This card is now, I believe, a much more healthy card. I think, one, it's a buff to the card itself, but it's a nerf to the card's general applicability. You have to actually justify running a 5-cost tech card in your deck to run Enchantress, but it is an extremely powerful tech card. It's sort of similar to Cosmic Ghost Rider in the sense that it is a powerful tech card. You need to have a cost to run it. That is what I like to see the game going in terms of tech cards. I like to see an actual cost be involved when you're running them instead of just splashing them into a deck. I think it keeps tech cards powerful while reducing the amount of tech soup. I haven't seen tech soup in a while. I hope not to see it again. I think that tech soup is very unhealthy for the game.
Agreed.
My most hated deck of all time was all the way back in 2023 when I was starting to play with Seratek with Hitmonkey. I just hated that deck so much.
I love that deck.
It ruined everything I wanted to do. It was terrible. I was on like an anti-Hitmonkey, anti-Star. I was like, this card needs a nerf. I hate it so much. All this stuff. I hate Tech Soup. I've always hated Tech Soup. This is a nerf to Tech Soup. This is a buff to the card. I am 5 thumbs up with this card. This was an amazing change.
You're the Tribunal player, though, right? Like that's...
Yes, I play Tribunal, and it does suck to see more Enchantress because I am seeing more Enchantress than I was before, like significantly so. But I play other decks, and I can recognize, I think, when a card is getting a change that makes it, I think, a better designed card within Snap's context. And I think Enchantress got that change.
I agree.
Yeah, I
agree with you there.
And I like the reference to the fact that it's intentional. It's more intentional to put her in the deck. You can't just have a Zabu deck and just go, oh, I'll just toss Enchantress in because, whatever. This gives a little bit more intentionality to it. She does feel more impactful, especially if you get her from Iron Patriot, like happened to me the other day. And I killed someone's Darkhawk and Speed Lane. And a 5/8 is a lot of power to have in there, even against cards like Ajax. And I think that's good. It's still, it feels weird as to when to play her being at that 5 cost. And I don't know if that should be her final place, but I don't know if being able to play her and something like Shadow King on the last turn or whatever is necessarily healthy. But yeah, I think I still see people running it, and I've lost some games because of having an Enchantress there because you don't think she's going to be there. And sometimes she is. She makes a huge splash when it counts.
The stats win a lane is ultimately the difference. 8 wins a lane a lot, and 6 wins a lane sometimes. Is that worth the extra cost? It depends on the deck and the situation. Often enough, because a lot of the ongoing cards you want to hit have 3, 4, 5 power, getting up to 8 with Enchantress is winning lanes more than would have thought. I think what's really, really interesting is we're about to enter a week, or at least a meta, if not like longer, that we're going to have to make a real choice between Enchantress and Cosmic Ghost Rider. Because if we're seeing a lot of Jocasta and end of turn things, then I think that I don't think you could run both in most decks. Right? Like, I think you're choosing between Enchantress and Cosmic Ghost Rider, and I think that they are very comparable cards in terms of power level right now. If the meta becomes Jocasta, and it's going to for at least a week, then Cosmic Ghost Rider is better. But if everyone knows that, and enough good players ignore Jocasta and just go, seems like a hell of a week to drop a bunch of Tribunal stuff, right? But Cosmic Ghost Rider is not exactly bad against ongoing.
It's interesting, too, because the Tribunal build that I prefer is an Ancient One Tribunal build, where you can just put Tribunal in the back line and then do an Iron Man Tau Mandala in another lane, so it just completely dodges CGR for the most part, because you're probably dodging Prio. And the cards that you're
taking out 2 of your Iron Mans.
No, it's not taking out the Iron Man, because you lose Prio, and the Iron Man copies its text onto the 2 in the front, because you're playing that on either 7 or like 6 with Luna Energy.
Okay.
Because Iron Man
Tau, actually dropping the Iron Man and Tau together.
You're dropping that together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's it's better into CGR, but
I played against that a lot.
I think that when Jocasta comes out and you have a real choice between the 2, I personally think CGR should also be a 5/8 to like show like competition there. But I mean, I think having tech cards with a cost, which I think is what they're migrating to with this new balanced direction, seems to be is less homogeneous cards, more archetype specific cards. I think they've been doing that since the start of this year. And I think we're finally starting to see a lot of decks that are like using specific cards. I think it started with like cards like Viv Hand and Bullseye. Those are used like pretty narrow but very powerful cards. And now we're starting to see a lot of the generic cards get nerfed. Like the specific cards, like Bullseye took like 5 months to get nerfed. Fantastic First Steps took like a month. And they both got nerfed. Less than a month. So I think they're really cracking down on these like homogeneous general cards, and I think they're really trying to move us to a more, you have to have a cost to run this card in your deck, which I really enjoy. I think it promotes a lot more synergy decks and a lot less of seeing the same deck every time.
Yeah, there's less slop, but there's also less matchups where you feel like you can play, right? I'm playing against this, and it either goes too tall, or I'm running the wrong tech card to mess with it, or whatever. Like there is a cost to that. I generally agree. Like in the abstract, I agree. But a lot of games, I'm feeling like I'm running this. Like right now, we'll talk about this later. I feel like I have to have Mercury in every deck. I have to have Mercury.
I think that's just the deck being overtuned, though.
Sure, I don't know if it's likely that we can assume that they are going to not continue to overtune things, and there's usually just going to be 1 or 2 things that are very overtuned.
I mean, it's happened with all of Snap. I mean, we'll talk about it later, because I think we might all have thoughts on that.
Yeah. All right. We can move on to Negasonic. Negasonic's worse as a 4 or 5, but far more appropriate. Any larger other thoughts, Duma?
I run Negasonic. I absolutely love Negasonic. I win so many games with Negasonic. Even at 4 or 5, I was switching between Negasonic and Juggernaut in my Wick Kang deck, and I just came to the conclusion that Negasonic just wins games. On turn 5, you drop it in a lane that they have 3 cards in, you win that lane. Like that's it. Then you just throw your massive Galactus or Cannonball Mercury another lane, and I'm a big Negasonic fan. Always have been. I watched. I think it was Fudge or Husky played it a lot, and so I started running it in everything, and I've gotten really good with it. I like Negasonic. I like it at 4. I think it's fine.
I'm happy to have her Flaviano album variant. I got that day too. Very happy with that purchase in Snap. Only album I went to go complete like very early. all 4/5s in this game are beginning to have a problem. It's just like all 3/3s in this game had a problem, and that is worse than Juggernaut. Negasonic is an amazingly good card. It is just not as good as Juggernaut, in my opinion. So when I'm playing a deck and I have a 4-cost flex slot, I am going to put Juggernaut in. If I have a second one, I will put Negasonic in. That is really the basis of the Soar Ramp deck that was shown on Snap Judgments a little while ago. But this is just next best to Juggernaut. So it's at the same point she was at 3/3 for the majority of her life at 3/3. It is just slightly worse Juggernaut. And I think it's a place that you kind of got to keep her, because I think any other stat line is probably a little bit too good or too bad. I think this is the great spot for Negasonic. Problem is, Jug's also there. So maybe Jug 5 cost? I wouldn't be opposed.
It wouldn't be the worst thing in the whole wide world. This card you see less frequently, but it's even more of a surprise now, and it's even more of a piss off when it happens. You're just like, shit, right? I forgot about that card. I'm so used to it coming down on 3. I still have like Negasonic turn 3 PTSD, but I lost an 8-cube game the other day because I forgot about Negasonic and was just like, all right, I got this. I got all of the power that I need. Dumbly, I played my big card first, and poof goes the card. And it's just a perfect way of being what I think Alioth should have been right from the get-go, rather than just eliminating all of the cards and turning them into dust. Something like this is like an Alioth. You game that priority and a goodbye card. And again, it's infrequent enough that it's hard to expect that it's going to happen. It's not like Alioth was back in the day. It is more intentional, again, like with Enchantress. But I think that benefits its power. So I think it's weaker to a degree, yes, but not seeing it all the time means people aren't going to be trying to play around it in the same way.
I like it as a 4/5 a lot. I think this is a positive change. I don't think I want it to be a 5-drop. I think I'd like this card better if Alioth didn't exist. If this was the way to punish people for like throwing prio, I'd be happier. I don't love that there's 2 ways to do that, because a lot of the times I'm seeing this in like Wiccan decks that also run Alioth. I don't mind playing around this and Juggernaut. I mind playing around this and Alioth. I don't love that synergy and pattern. But outside of that, I don't think this card's a problem or anything. It's just an annoying good card that you have to think about. And I'm fine with an annoying good card that you have to think about that's going to win some games. And some games it's just going to be like, oh, they destroyed a freaking Kate arrow. Okay, so be it. You know what I mean? Like that ends up being a fine place for this card to live. I don't have strong negative feelings or strong positive feelings. It's a card that is good and exists. I never thought it was one of the best cards in Snap. It would have been overplayed if it stayed a 3/3 with Juggernaut a 4/5, but I think Juggernaut as a 4/5 is better than Negasonic as a 3/3. So like it only mattered so much.
I like, if I don't draw Wiccan, I think it's pretty good for like just putting out right on 4, and then but if you do see Wiccan, you can do it on 5 with a 3-drop. So I mean,
it's great.
Strong.
Great card in Wiccan decks. You do run into the tension of you're running that or you're running like Iron Lad type things, right? Like you're running that or you're running synergy pieces, which again I think is a good tension to have. I think it's probably better than Iron Lad in those decks, but I'm not sure of that without like a larger sample.
I put Stardust. That's what I took Stardust out for Negasonic recently, but I just still like Stardust a lot.
We will get to Stardust soon. Let us Shang. Shang is now a 4/3 and still only destroys 1 random 10 or more. Can I go first? I don't ever go first.
You can go
This
first.
Is one of the worst changes they've done ever. I think that like this breaks like 17 different things in small ways, and most of the meta hasn't noticed yet because most of the meta doesn't play competitive Marvel Snap. And I don't play competitive Marvel Snap anymore. I don't like try and grind rank anymore. Like once I proved I could, I don't feel the need. But like I think it makes Snap significantly less fun. I think it makes the meta significantly less fun. It at the very least has to be the highest power card. the highest power 10 or more card. It cannot just be a random 10 or more card. But even then, like, the deck that Smiles made, the Scar deck, right? Like, the version of it, if they can stack one lane, I can't win. Like it changes the entire metagame in terms of like how big you have to be to play Marvel Snap, and it makes a lot of decks way, way, way worse. Like, significantly and impossibly worse. I cannot possibly be more annoyed at this. If this is a 4/5, kill the highest power enemy card at a location, we can have a conversation. Yeah, that's a really good card, right? It's Shang-Chi. It's not meant to be like, so the problem was bad players put it in every deck, and then it could never, and its win rate was terrible, right? But like, when played appropriately, what it does is perform a check on the meta and the check on the deck building process. It's the deck building process and what decks you can play as much as what happens when you play the game that Shang-Chi affects. And I hate what it's done to the deck building process right now. I'm done. Duma.
Okay, this is gonna be out there, but I have been so upset with this change for almost different reasons. First, I don't know, is Nerd Dynamite okay? I want to know if that man is okay, because this was in every single deck he's ever made, and then on top of that, I've lost the most random games to like random Thanos decks because there was no way I thought Shang-Chi was coming down, and there goes my my Human Torch just out of nowhere, you know. It's been like just popping up and stealing my cubes out of nowhere. Usually I play around it, but I haven't really seen a need to play around it because I haven't seen it as much. But when it does pop up in those random games, it's been really annoying. So, but yeah, I don't like that they did that. I think I liked that it was like keeping the meta under control. I enjoyed playing around it. I always thought I was the biggest brain if I could play around it perfectly. And now it's just like super random and stealing my cubes. So I'm not a fan.
Okay. Bit of a different take here. I think I'm not opposed to it destroying one. The thing I'm opposed to is it having 3 power. I think that it is a significantly weaker effect to the point where I think it should be at least a 4/4. I think the problem with Shang pre-experiment stuff was the play rate. Not the win rate, it's just so many people are running Shang no matter what, and I don't think that's a good thing. It goes back to what I said with Enchantress. Tech cards should have a cost. I think,
but the cost of Shang was that you're going to lose a bunch of fucking games. Like, like that's a real cost.
It is a cost, and I agree that it's a cost, but is it enough of a cost? Because
I think so.
I mean, Enchantress's cost at 4/6 was okay. This is doing nothing like a good amount of the time. Shang did more than Enchantress most games. It's like I can see a lot of different worlds for this card. I think that the only matchup it meaningfully changes is Scar. Is like Sauron Scar with only destroying one. I think all the other matchups are kind of like, this is fine. It's pretty much the same card. I think it does have more cube. I think it does have more cube equity, but I don't oppose this only destroying one card because I think that as well as those. I mean, if the Sauron Scar stuff turns out to be too good with this card, and if it's just not keeping it in check at all, I think you could look into maybe reverting this card back to the way it was. Not really opposed to that, but keeping it at the same power with a worse text for a card that was already like kind of mediocre at this point. It's just like, we'll see how it ends up. I would either prefer this to end up at probably a 4/4, maybe a 4/5, but then you start getting into those play rate discussions again, or 4/2 old text. I think they tried to take halfway. They didn't go all the way with the new text, but they also didn't go with, I don't know. I don't like this change because of the direction. I'm not opposed to them changing Chi. I'm not opposed to them changing the stats, the ability. I'm just a little bit mad that they only, in a sense, they like half did it. They didn't fully do it, I think. They mentioned that it was an experimental change, that they're still looking at it and they didn't get enough meaningful sample data. I think they will now before the next OTA. We'll see, because Golden Gauntlet 3, this is the OTA that we're playing with. So we'll see how that goes with this version of Chi.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see how it shapes up. This is still a weird change, considering the only other change outside of this for Shang was the change from 9 to 10 power. I think that was the only change that he's had. Hasn't changed power, hasn't changed anything like that. Like, he's been a very static card. And I'm still not sure. They haven't really been clear or transparent as to the reasoning why they specifically did this, at least not to the general population. And it feels a little strange. I understand. And for Smiles, I think this is something to reference back as well. You're somebody who has specifically said, you're anti-tech soup. And if that's the case, and you still think this card is underpowered, I think that says something about it. And I think it's just weird. It feels weird. It doesn't feel like it should be the way that it currently is. Like, running this card, looking at the stats, the difference between now and the last 30 days, like this patch in the last 30 days is a handful of percentage points. But like we say, 1 point matters. 3 percentage points of games does have an impact. I don't like, at the very least, highest card. Outside of that, like, you're just taking a whiff. And one of the things I will say is we have not seen the dreaded only big cards. There have been a lot of big cards, but we've not seen the only decks being the big cards decks. There are still, I think, a fair amount of variety in the decks that are being played still, outside of so many move decks. And those are even coming down into like the top 50% of Infinite. Like, the number of Sparky move decks I've been seeing is ridiculous. And you can't just Killmonger away the Human Torch, and you can't really Shang it because you don't know where it's going to go. But yeah, I think something definitely needs to change. But hopefully they can figure it out sooner. Golden Gauntlet 3 is going to be real weird, that's for sure.
Golden Gauntlet World Qualifier 3 before Brady gets on the screen and fights you. So, okay. Let's be clear about something. The problem with Shang is fairly often that you would kill a 10 power thing, right? In one lane, and then because Shang was a 4/3 and took so much of your energy and so much of your turn, you would still lose that lane anyway. The upside to that was when you could find the right spot and you can get multiple things, you would get these huge cube wins, right? Because you could blow opponents out. Scar is the obvious place where that real benefit of getting that multiple 10 thing was the case. Shang is now not just like bad against that deck. He's unbelievably dead. If they have 2 10s in that lane, you're like super and uber dead. And that was really holding that in. But also, like, I lost against a move player. I was just testing Shang out. I lost against a move player because Dagger and Sage are both bigger than 10. Right? And like, even if Sage is 8, I'm probably losing there, but then the opponent would have to count and they'd have to consider that. You're losing against your Heimdall Craven bullshit, where you used to be able to destroy Heimdall and Craven and be like, all they've got left is a cloak and some other thing, and I can take that out, right? Like, that kind of play is meaningful. That kind of play is important, and it changes how you can conceive of deck building, how you conceive of playing the game. I think that we're in the early days and people haven't really fully gone all in on how broken a Shang-free world can be, and it's just going to get worse and worse. Move is easily the worst offender, but if I can't beat Scar deck's points, I can't play the deck right now, I feel like. And like, the Scar deck is still underplayed. But once more people start playing it, right, like Scar, Hela, like, what do you play? What do you play to beat that?
The Scar thing is interesting, because I definitely think it's underplayed, but also I think it's a lot more difficult than the typical Scar deck, because other decks are going so tall that you, as the Scar deck, need to run tech now, which is, I think, is a little crazy, but you can't run Mercury. I think the reason it's underplayed is just because move goes taller, and there's nothing you can do about it, really, unless you can...
But outside
unless
of the
they
top of
don't
Infinite,
get Torch on 3.
Yeah, but every video I make, people are like, I don't think Move can be that good. Because like outside of the top of, I'm aware how crazy that is, but outside of the top of Infinite, Move is still severely underplayed because it's considered very difficult to play. So like if I
on
know it's not,
Untapped,
I also know it's not. Yeah.
all the A tier cards, there was like 9 of them, and they were every single one was a Move card.
What were your filters?
Like, I think it was just general Infinite.
Were you looking
just
at top
like
10%
straight up
Infinite or top 50%
no, just
Infinite or
everybody in
Really?
Infinite.
Okay.
Just the entire list. 9 of them were Move cards. We'll get to Move later, though.
Yeah, we'll get okay. Fair enough.
We've got a very loaded last half of the show. Apparently,
Yes.
we've moved.
Yeah.
It's going to be a banger.
I don't
People,
know.
stay
half
tuned.
the podcast is everything else, and then the other half is me complaining about Human Torch. That's what's going on.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we need to do. Okay. Shang's role was the police, right? It was putting a guardrail onto the metagame, and now there is no guardrail. Is my problem. I think is the shortest and most succinct way I can put it. I feel like without Shang, there just is no guardrail on the metagame. And that guardrail on deck building and everything else is something that I personally miss when playing Snap, because it feels like everything is like usually Snap gets stronger in like 2 to 3 point increments. It feels like every deck is 5 to 10 points stronger than it used to be in each lane. Like I was doing Warlock, I was hitting games where I went Warlock into Moongirl into Pass into double Hit Monkey, a bunch of free ones, and She-Hulk, and still being like, oh, I don't have enough points. Like that happened multiple times where I was just like, oh, I put up 34 in that lane and they're at 47. Fuck me, I guess. Like that's not supposed to happen in Snap.
Was it Human Torch?
Yeah,
in
the
that lane?
Gwenpool and their Viv Vision hits their Shaw and Brood 4 different times.
The Viv Vision stuff doesn't even go tall enough.
No, that doesn't go tall enough either.
Okay,
it's just nothing's competing with Move, and then the Scar decks are dropping 35 in each lane, and then Juggernauting me out of another lane, and then like there's 18 decks, and then there's the like stupid fucking ongoing shit that's doing 50 points in every fucking lane, and it's just like the level of power that it takes to win a lane consistently in Marvel Snap has been, when early days it was in the low 20s, and now as of like a month ago it was in the high 20s. If you wanted to be reasonably sure you can win a lane, you wanted one lane to be in the high 20s, one lane to be in the mid 20s. Unless you had enough tech to chase them away out of that, right? Like you can lower the ceiling by running tech. And now I feel like if I want to reasonably and reliably win a lane, I'm pushing 35. That's an unacceptably large jump in what it takes to win a lane.
I think a lot of it is just okay.
Cerebro,
we've been beating around the bush
3 is dropping 28 power
Cerebro
lanes.
3 is also ridiculous.
It's dropping 28 power lanes with no problem, and it's easily getting to fucking 36 power lanes. Like the power level of Snap has spiked in a real way, and taking Shang out of that hurts.
I'll talk about Cerebro later.
It's on there too.
I think it's not healthy. We'll see though.
Me too. I think that they made a very bad mistake. But like, yeah. All right. I think we've Shang'd enough.
Yeah.
Last time I did this, someone was like, "Why are you the fun police? Why do you think Shang is so important? I'm never listening again." And it's like I don't know, man. I feel like a game that's healthy is probably better than a game that has a card that.
What can you say? Power must be controlled.
Power, like that's it. Power must be controlled. If the game is just like who can build the biggest sandcastle, eventually we all figure out what the biggest fucking sandcastle deck is, and we just play it, and then we're fine. The game
Tribunal.
It's Torch, but that's fine.
You can go taller. I've hit a million in every lane. It's fun.
Fine. So it's Torch or Tribunal, like whichever the most consistent version of that is, and then you run it. And then can Tribunal figure out how to run Mercury, and then you just win, right? Like the meta becomes fucking stupid. Like that's the whole game. Have a great time, right? Like I don't think that's a healthy or fun game for anything but the shortest amount of time. All right, Killmonger, yay! Welcome back, Killmonger. Fuck Clog. Any other thoughts, Duma?
I hate Clog. I'm super glad he's back. I'm a little sad for Zoo. I liked seeing more Zoo. That was fun. That was the only good thing about him only hitting one lane. But on the other side of that, like how Falcon picks up your ones in other lanes when you're, playing bounce. I think, it's good that he's back for like classic destroy decks. Sometimes you don't want to play him in the lane. And yeah, fuck Clog. That's about it.
I love this guy. This is one of my. Let's start. I've been playing Killmonger for a while. This is when I came back to the game. I ran Killmonger and probably the best card in the deck. I miss this guy. Hate Clog. Love Killmonger. Love me some destroying some Novas. Old time's sake. But generally, I really like this card. It's been a while since I played Morgan, and I can play Morgan again, which I do enjoy. Morgan's really fun. I like Killmonger. I think Killmonger's a good card. This is a strong card as well. Could probably, if it becomes like super oppressive, I guess you could take a point off. But I think this guy, 3 cost, you can have a global effect on tech cards, especially one that's only reactionary and not proactive plus reactive. A lot of people over the time when he was nerfed was mentioning that he shouldn't be reverted. I disagreed. I think out of the 3 cost global stuff like Mobius, stuff like Luke Cage, I don't think Killmonger's a problem. I think he's at the top of the list of cards that you could argue, but no. I'm happy to see this guy back.
This was such a weird change. The fact that he got limited to 1 lane, they did nothing else. They didn't change it. They didn't give him a buff. They were just like, no, you just get a single lane. Like, I get it. Morgan decks were crazy, and maybe that was some of the thought process. I don't know. I don't know if they thought about it that far in advance, but like, that was ridiculous. Like, talk about a card that evaporated from the meta for that entire period. And holy smokes, is he back now? Like, I was, again, looking at the stats. It's like destroy. And I've seen that because, again, what are you going to do? You're going to Enchantress and find a way to magically Shang a lane that they chose to play in when they're playing friggin' 12 power death, a 40 power Deadpool, and then whatever their null is. Like, it's crazy. But I think you could probably lose a bit of power, like even a point or something, because he is really, really impactful if you were trying to play specific deck types. Like, the losing a Black Cat and a Hydra Bob just stings. And I don't know if he's the new Shang of 1 cost cards. I don't know.
I mean, so we want something to control 1 cost cards for an end of turn meta. That seems like an important tool to have. The like 40 power sunspots are a problem. Destroy is as good as it's ever been right now, but like no one's calling Destroy a problem, right? Like no one's like, oh man, those Destroy decks can't beat them. I got hit with a null double death Deadpool yesterday. And my answer, I lost, right? Like, no shit, I lost. But like, I was also like, man, 1, Shang would have been sure fucking nice here. Like, and 2, I was just like, you know what? Good for you, champ. Like, right? Like, what the fuck? I can't be mad at you. Like, that doesn't happen all the time with Destroy. You hit the nut. Like, have a great time. Killmonger is one of the perfect cards in Marvel Snap. Sure, he can be a 3-2. I don't fucking care. He's seeing exactly 0% less play as a 3-2. But he's fine as a 3-3. It's like irrelevant. When he's great, he plays for like a 3-15. And when he's bad, he plays for like a 3-3. And 3-3s aren't winning you games of Snap. And when he's good, like he's winning you even if he's a 3-2. Like it'll matter in like less than 1% of games, I think. He should never be touched. He and 1 other 3 cost tech card we're going to talk about later, I think should just be exactly 3-3, exactly the cards they are forever. Changing them was silly. And I love Killmonger.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Before we move on, I got to ask a question. This has been plaguing me since they put in his goddamn voice line. What does he say? And is anybody actually 100% sure that's what he says? Because
off with the throne, 100% sure.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's like off of the throne? Something like that.
I want the throne.
I want the throne is what I've heard, but it doesn't sound like that. I need to know.
Off.
Like
100% the first word is off.
But that's such a weird phrase. That's like someone translating it through Google Translate and then translating it back and like, but neither does the way he says "I want the throne," it doesn't sound right either. It just seems to make more sense. It's super.
I've always seen it as off with the throne, and it made sense every time I've heard it.
There's only one voice line in all of Marvel Snap that. I guess there's two voice lines in Marvel Snap that matter.
Is it Samuel Jackson one? Oh,
Neil.
What about the end is near with the Thanos?
Nah, it's fine. Those are fine, but the other two matter.
But one of them, you're also missing the one is actually Samuel L. Jackson doing the voice of his character. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
It is. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Like,
you're saying Nick Fury has a card that doesn't matter?
Yeah. The others are cute. Power must be controlled. Kneel before Galactus. Fair. Like, that's it. That's it. Nothing else fucking matters. They could delete every other voice line in the game, and you would maybe like Browday would notice. And like everything else, it's Kneel. Power must be controlled. That's it. Because like when Shang says power must be controlled, you're like, yeah. Like this is the moment of like, yeah, I guess so. That's what happened. And Kneel before Galactus. All right, well,
I don't know. The thing for Steph's one is pretty cool too, dude. It's
I don't even know what it is.
Time.
Does he say that? I've never heard it. I mean, I'm sure he said it 1,000 times. It's a great line. But it's also not a Marvel Snap specific line.
That's true. All right.
We'll do an episode where we rank every voice line in the game. That actually
with impressions
feels like a
or
Snap
not?
Academy topic. All right. Shadow King is back to a 2/2. Do it. Take us away.
I like Shadow King. I played a lot of Shadow King in that Sarah control deck, hiding it behind my Invisible Woman. I don't really play it. I don't see too much like Surfer anymore in the meta. I have other things to snipe Human Torches with. I can see he's a good card. I think maybe a point of power back to him would be fine. I don't see him as too threatening at all. What else does he hit? I mean, he can hit Deadpool. I see so much Sauron and just move decks that it's kind of hard to play him the way he's meant to be played. And that Sarah control deck really doesn't work as good as it used to. So that's about all I have with Shadow King. Farouk, my boy.
First of all, very happy this card is no longer in Cerebro 3. Second of all, 2/2 is where this card should be. I used to be a proponent of 2. I used to be a fan of 2/3 Shadow King, but that was in the meta with Fantastic First Steps and Surge, and everything was just all the buff cards were 4/6 Gwenpool. Everything was broken in the buff department, and didn't look like they were nerfing them. Little did I know they were hitting every single one of them in the same patch. So all of a sudden, Shadow King's completely fine at 2/2. This card needs to cost 2, I think, to keep stuff in check. I think this might just be the only answer to move if you cannot run a Mercury. It's just like there's a lot of green power right now. Shadow King is a good way, is just the way to get rid of the green power. I think he's a pretty effective tech card. I think he's completely fine as is. And I'm happy that he's out of Cerebro 3, but I will rant about Cerebro later, I am told.
Yeah, he's back in Cerebro 2, so yay. Although, I haven't seen much Cerebro 2. I don't know why I'm saying that to jinx it, but it seems like that took a break for a bit. But, I mean, he's back there. We'll see. I don't know. I think he's a necessary card. I do not like the card when it's played against me, but do we like any of these cards when they're played against us? I think they're a necessary evil, and I think this can help balance off some of the hits or some of the end of turn decks, but not really a ton. I think he's a good card, and I think he does. He needs to cost 2. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about it. I think he was one of the cards that should have stuck at a 2 cost.
I like him in C3 though. I mean, he was played more offensively in C3. Like if you put him on the one that puts -2 or whatever on turn 5, you could just fix that up. So I liked him in C3. I don't think he was too mean there. Just helped it run smoother.
Yeah, he wasn't the problem with C3. C3's problem is that +6 to your whole fucking board is stupid. Shadow King is the most overrated tech card in the game. Oops. He just is. Like, it was Shang by a lot, right? Now it's Shadow King. He hits one relevant deck right now. He's really good. That one relevant deck is the best deck. But that's all he hits. What else is he doing good work against right now?
There's a bit of like green power. I've noticed a bit more buff decks cropping up, a bit more casts, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think Shadow King is not the most overrated tech card. I think the most overrated tech card like right now is like Killmonger. He's not really doing anything, but
so I don't think Killmonger is rated. People that are running Killmonger to destroy their own stuff, and that he does opponent stuff is a nice bonus.
I guess so.
People are running Shadow King to win games, and like
I think he's good right now, is what I'm saying.
I think he's good. I think he's severely overrated.
If you want to say he's the most overrated tech card, I mean, I think it's a slight overrating. Like maybe they're saying he's 9 out of 10 when he's in reality like 8 out of 10. I think he's like good.
A 6 to 7 out of 10. I think he's fine.
He's good right now.
I think Killmonger's way better because of Morgan Le Fay alone.
Morgan just doesn't go tall enough now, so Morgan's got her own problems because Morgan cannot afford to run a Mercury.
Did you see that one deck Binks was running with is like the new Dormammu Morgan Angel deck?
I did not see that. I've
so
seen
crazy.
New Dormammu. I've seen a new Dormammu deck that is interesting, but I've been told that new Dormammu. I didn't do too well with it, but it was a cool deck. So we'll see if that pops up more.
And sometimes that's what matters, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Having a fun, cool deck. Again, it's not always about the competitive side of it. Sometimes you just want to do cool things.
That's true. Yeah. That's a really cute reduction, though. But like, no one feels good when they win 2 out of 10 games. That's like, or like, no one but Splat feels good when they win 2 out of 10 games. Like, so like,
if I win them for 8, I'm happy.
But you know what I mean, though, right? Like, losing doesn't feel good. Having to retreat because your deck doesn't do the thing. Getting Juggernauted out of doing your cool combo, et cetera, right? Like, none of those things feel good. And like, while the deck might be fun when it works, the 8 times it doesn't work usually leads you closing the game before you get to that really fun. Like,
I'm not saying that. Okay, you put us on like 2 opposite sides. There's a middle ground where it works. So like it's the old Mr. Negative where it works like 54% of the time. And so yes, you're retreating more often, but when you do win, it feels really good. Like
but Dormammu is not like what. Yes, but Dormammu is in any reasonable sample like a 45% win rate. I think. Like I think you can build a better Dormammu deck than that, but I think that the better the deck becomes, the more Dormammu is an extra thing you run in it, and the less it's a Dormammu deck.
Yeah, and Jug just ruins it, dude. If you jug my Airwalker lane and you jug the Dormammu spell over and like it kills my one dude and I didn't have 2 people there, it
kills 2 dudes and they're big. And you're just I got +4 power in this lane. That's great.
Yeah, it's salty. It's bad.
Make Jug cost 5.
I think Dormammu's spell should be 0/1/1. But that's the there.
I think Jug is the problem here.
Yeah, I can see that being the thing.
He's just too good.
We'll talk about Juggernaut later.
Ridiculous. This card should be a 5/8.
All right, as always, when we wander off to other things, we continue to the next card. I don't give a fuck about Alioth. I wish Alioth didn't exist. Unprint Alioth instead of reverting its power, but fine. I guess it exists for a reason. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alioth's right back in Wiccan. It's right back where he was before. He's annoying. I like him because he's he stops move from doing their thing, completely messing up their turn 5 usually in Wiccan, or even turn 6 it can screw him up pretty bad. Alioth good. Alioth's just a good card. I don't have a problem losing to it either, really. So I think it's pretty fair compared to other things.
Good card, fair card. On to next.
Yeah, fair card.
I
don't
miss
like it.
the animation of making cards go poof. However, you're right. I think it suits its purpose. It's kind of the Negasonic of the final turn. You've got priority. You know what they're going to play. You take that risk of the 50-50. Are they going to play their Heimdall here? Are they going to play the card that they need to win there? And does that counter it? I think this is fair. I don't think it's overpowered like it was. I don't love it. Again, if it's played against me, not a huge fan of it. But I think it's fine.
I don't know. I hate the card. It's probably fine. I just really don't like it.
Have you ever liked it? Has there been any iteration of this card variation that you
I liked
liked?
it as a 6/6, so I didn't see it ever.
It works good against like bounce and stuff. It does nothing against Sauron. It does nothing against
it works against all the cool decks that want to do
steps.
synergy, and it does nothing against all the like. Yeah, it's really, really great against cool decks and really shitty against boring decks. And that's a bad place to be. I want things that encourage really cool decks, and I'm aware that it ruins the tribunal thing, which is what Smiles is waiting to say.
I was actually not. I was gonna say there's only two iterations of this card I have liked. I missed the old 6/5 Alioth. I was on a break then. I'm very happy I was. Okay. I enjoyed the 6/2 that only worked with Prio. I thought that was a fair card, although I understand why people didn't like it, and I like this version, the 6/9. I think this one's fair. I think 6/10 was too much. I enjoy 6/9 Alioth. I enjoyed 6/2 Alioth. I think if it's one of those two, you can sell me on it, and if it's not, get it out of the game.
And it gives you play into like Mr. Negatives too. I absolutely can't stand Mr. Negative decks. When I can stop
100% with you.
I have a negative take for you for later.
Okay.
We have a negative take for you later. Red Guardian's back to a 3/2. Hooray.
Yay.
Anything for Red Guardian or just hooray?
He's fine.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, great. All right, Cosmo is a 3/3. This is the other one that should never have been trusted. Cosmo is perfect as a 3/3. No?
I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think.
I like him.
Yeah,
he's just like...
You shook your head no. I was like,
no. I'm like, that shouldn't be touched. I mean, this card's most powerful hits are the ones that come down on 3. Serves his purpose there. Serves his purpose on defense. Serves his purpose on offense. And has a bad enough stat line to justify it.
Yeah, and it's hard to like just casually put into a deck because most decks run at least a few on reveals they care about. And then like, there's that really bad feeling where you like feel like you need it as a tech card, and then you play it in a lane, and then your opponent plays their own Cosmo, and you're like, uh-oh. like this is damn it.
Shoot.
I've got one lane and 4 cards I need to play there, and I already played 2. I'm in a lot of trouble. Right? Like that kind of thing is real. I just think Cosmo's perfectly designed. And it's a doggo.
Yeah. He's a doggo. The doggo doesn't be 4 cost and 6 power. That just feels weird. Like
doggo should be 3 cost. All doggo should be 3 cost, including Sparky.
Let's get Lockjaw. Let's get Sparky.
Fine. I don't like Lockjaw anyways.
No one likes Lockjaw.
Make him a 6 cost.
Wow.
No one likes Lockjaw.
Wasn't Roran testing some Lockjaw
probably
crazy decks?
Tests.
Yeah, loves really bad cards. Really, he's like so big on bad cards.
He's a really good for fun gamer.
Yes,
love Roran.
Yeah, everyone loves Roran. Oh fudge! All right, now the other cards that are changed. Colleen is 8. Yeah, that's why I was like, the last few. Can we just say yay and move on? Because we have 18 more cards to talk about, and then the actual subject. All right, Colleen Wing is a 2/3. Duma?
That doesn't mean anything to me at all. I can't even think of... I mean, that deck doesn't get power that way. It's just useless. I mean, it's still going to go right where it goes, right?
I think this is Marvel Snap recognizing that Bullseye is overtuned and they don't want to nerf Bullseye. Simple as that. That's what I think about this change.
I might be lambasted for this, but I honestly thought at 2-4, especially once Scorn came out, she seemed way too powerful. Like, she probably should have gone down to power a long time ago. I know Perry will probably murder me, but
wait, this is a buff. This goes in
C3
now.
It does.
This goes in
It's
C3.
not even a joke. You can run in C3 with Swarm.
Good Christ.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. What am I doing?
Yeah, I have that deck, by the way. It's Monday's video.
I saw you reply to it. Yeah,
that deck was already gross without this.
Dude, I might have missed it. They tagged me. That was
yes,
what's his name?
I
right?
saw it happen. Yeah. Yes,
I was like, oh, all right, yeah.
No, please don't buff Cerebro.
I mean that's what they did. They buffed Cerebro 3. But yeah, no, this is fucking like in the Bullseye deck. Every card needs to lose like a power. Like 2 or 3 more cards.
They could make they could change Bullseye as well.
Yeah, Bullseye as a 4
Bullseye
would
only
be
hits
fine
ones.
To me. Nah, but I like Bullseye hitting both. But Bullseye as a 4 would be nice. Bullseye
that would
costing
be very
4,
nice.
I think would change.
I would much appreciate
like
4/4, 4/5 Bullseye.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. So I really, really like that change. But they could also just be like Swarm loses a power, Colleen loses a power. Like if you take 1 power off enough stuff, that deck just sort of like becomes and I think that's probably where it should be because it is just a stats deck in a way that's not necessarily positive. I do think that this change matters more than most for that deck. There are games where it doesn't go off, and having like a 4 that becomes a 6, that becomes an 8 because of Scorn power. Colleen is important, and taking off that power matters. But like, yeah, it's a buff to Cerebro and a mild nerf to Bullseye. All right, we have to be very careful talking about this next card. It is.
You mean
Agatha.
The worst card in the game?
It is Agatha, who is now a 6/12, not a 6/14, but Brady is in chat. And I need him to continue to mod and post things for me. So we have to be very, very, very careful as we go over this. Mouse?
All right, Brady, I've got, I assume, good news for you. This card is still very good. +1 draw is just amazing. One of the best techs you can have in this entire game. We saw Thanos make Arishem like a top tier meta contender because of that text. Agatha will be fine. She will be good. She will still be played in Hela. It is a significant nerf to Black Knight though. This is not the route I'd like them to take with Agatha. Because Brady is in chat, I will not disclose the route I would like them to take with Agatha.
Let her be in a random spot in hand? Yeah, we all agree.
Not be a random spot in hand.
Oh, I want her to.
I would have pitched 6/16 no draw. But still keeping the left.
That's terrible.
But I think
if you don't
+1 draw is a problem in this game. That's my problem. I think this card this is a meaningful nerf. Well, Redshift exists now. I think and I don't think Redshift is necessarily broken by himself. So I think this is a good card. I think if they're going to reduce the power changes, maybe another one-off and we're in a set sale. As for now, I still think he's probably slightly too good, especially with the next card we're going to talk about, making her even better. Yeah, I think this card is good. I think it's a meaningful nerf, but I don't think it's necessarily unbelievable. Like a wow, Hela's gone. No, Hela's still there. Hela's going to be better with less Stardust. This card just makes the ceiling 2 points lower, which is like, it's 2 points in a Hela deck. How much does that really matter if it's not on Hela?
Duma?
Agatha is just... I play against so many Hela decks, and Agatha is just really good. Even at 12, still really good. The 2 points of power doesn't mean too much to me. Maybe 6/16 no draw, that would definitely hurt it a lot more than just taking the 2 points off of her. I miss those pure Agatha Black Knight decks though. Those were like, when that was the meta for a minute, those were fun to play with. I enjoyed having my big ebony blades, but now I'm only seeing her in Hela, and I don't think this change means too much in the Hela deck.
Actually, that's something that I've thought about. Is that really the only place that you're seeing Agatha currently until Brady comes up with yet another weird mixture of a deck? And I think that does a disservice to the card and what she can provide. That draw at the beginning is very important, and I think it's really valuable. I've never seen more times getting redshift than a situation like that. Agatha move. All right, then. I mean, sure, why not?
But I think, for anyone listening in audio, yeah. Brittany said that in chat. Continue.
Yes, sorry. I don't know, this card got me to Infinite this month. I was just wanting an easy route to do that. It was a fun card to play in Deadpool's Diner because there is the level of uncertainty as to what are you going to get back? How do you... Okay, do you kill the Agatha now? What do you do with the Corvus Glaive? I think it provides some level of control because she takes those even turns. And I think it's not just your standard Hela stuff. But I don't think this change hurts her. I don't think it really hits her. I think it softens her very, very top end by just a teensy amount. But until we start seeing way more Stardust, which we're going to talk about that next, I think she's still strong and she's still going to make her name felt in meta decks.
I mean, do you remember like the Victoria Hand versions of the Agatha deck that were like
fun?
I loved those. They were fun. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool. I mean, Black Knight's still like decent. It's been underrated for a while. I remember back a few months ago, I hosted a one-trick tournament, and Black Knight was one game off beating Move to win the entire thing. Black Knight is underrated. This might have made it perfectly rated, because Agatha Black Knight was the best version of Black Knight, and this isn't a 2-point nerf to that deck. It's a 4-point nerf. And a 4-point nerf is very significant, whereas a 2-point nerf is just significant. So we'll say, I think this does a little bit more harm because it doesn't really hurt Hela as much as it hurts Black Knight. And also, alongside that, there are not many decks that want +1 draw more than Hela. I mean, even negative, like you want to keep your big hits in the deck. Hela's a deck. The decks that naturally run Jubilee are the decks you probably don't want to give another +1 draw to.
Yep.
Hela got one. Not much I can say. I still think Hela is probably the most underplayed deck right now because it does do points, and it does points very well while being able to run Iron Man or Tech in a slot. Very good.
I mean, so they nerfed Agatha by 2 points, and 2 points is more than people, I think, any of us have given credit to thus far. 2 points is a lot in a Marvel Snap deck. But the nerf to Stardust means that this is still a net buff to Agatha, not a net nerf to Agatha, which is ultimately what this comes down to me. You can't nerf Stardust and then leave Agatha exactly as she is. You have to nerf Agatha too in relation. And so since they nerf Stardust, becomes a 4/6. Agatha has to lose points. Otherwise, it just becomes too easy and too obvious and too good. So, like, this is still a net positive. Agatha is better than she was last week. Black Knight versions of Agatha are worse. And they're fine. Those are good decks, right? Like, those are good to very good decks. Those decks, however, are also buffed because there's now no Shang-Chi or significantly less Shang-Chi. So you can relatively often just be like, okay, sure, I'll Ghost Rider on turn 4. Whereas before, you would be like, I'll Ghost Rider on turn 4, but my opponent, in about 50% of all Marvel Snap games, is going to have Shang-Chi, and I just played a 4/5 to their 4/3. And, like, that no longer being the case is relevant. I think that Agatha's probably in every bit as good a place she was. I do think she is worse in a vacuum, but we don't exist in a vacuum. And I think it's probably better for her to be worse. I just want her to start at a random spot in hand. I think that this is a totally fine card. If it's like, I think the +1 draw is fine, but if it's a random spot in hand, it's much harder to actively discard. I think Redshift is a great card, and I'd love to see what Redshift is in a world where it's not just Agatha's best friend. Especially because we're getting Redshift Part 2 in a few days. I don't remember what card it is, but I remember there's a zombie that does the same thing.
It's a good idea.
Zombie
Random
Power
spot.
Man 2/4 does it every turn.
Yeah,
that card
like,
is going to be crazy.
Yeah, that seems like a fucking problem.
Holy.
Yeah, it seems like a fucking problem. It's fine.
We don't want to nerf Bullseye though. It's Series 5 card.
You gotta sell it to us first.
Yeah, it's been out for months. It's the only good card I don't own.
Really?
I refuse to buy it. I hate it so much. That's why I have the tokens. I have like 15k sitting there. I own like every other good card in the game. It's just can't stand that card.
So what's going to happen one day when you roll for a Series 5 and that pops up? What do you do with that?
I'll be happy because I own it, but I won't play it.
Cougar just sent me a Bullseye deck too, so sorry to tell you this, but there will be a Bullseye
Pixel
deck.
war going on here. Number one Bullseye hater versus number one Bullseye fan.
Yeah, it's not even a surfer; it's like a real deck.
Oh boy. Don't want to see that on the letter.
He figured out how to make the Bullseye Victoria Hand thing work finally.
I'm not excited.
Yeah. We can talk Stardust too now. I hate this nerf.
I don't mind it.
I think Stardust is. It was great. It was one of the best cards of the game. But I think it's important to have Stardust as meta police. They release too many things that are kind of OP that Stardust stops. And so Stardust is like just important to have as a regular presence in the game. And I think nerfing it, even though it's not that much worse, has made its play rate less, such that we have a problem.
Okay.
Sorry, Dennis.
I think tech cards should have a cost. I don't think there should be tech cards statted at baseline. I don't think Stardust should be statted at baseline. I think 4/6 is fine here. I just think the reason why this is more of a significant nerf is because we're in a space racer meta because of cough cough Human Torch. But I think that this card is in a healthier place at 4/6. I think you have to have a cost to run it. My biggest worry with this card on release was Tech Soup. They nerfed Tech Soup. I think the card is a bit worse then. I still think it's a very good card. Still think it's 95% as good as at 4/6. Probably deters play rate a little bit, but still think this card is good. Probably sees a bit less play. Probably means like Nimrod Kid Omega is viable again. So we'll see. I think this is a fine change. Just would have liked to see them go a bit further with Hela, Agatha, because that deck is broken, busted, all that stuff. If they were to nerf it, but hey, maybe next batch.
I would run it for Hela and Nimrod alone. Just those two things are enough for me to just like throw it in that 4 slot. Because I'm seeing mostly move though. I have Negasonic in that slot right now, but I definitely switch between the two often. I absolutely love Emote Wars with Denish, and then I just drop the Stardust. That's like my favorite thing to do.
Beating Denish is genuinely joyful. Just in case you've never beaten Denish, it is a good feeling. Because he has definitely gambited your best card. So when you can still win, it feels great.
I think my favorite... We'll see. Denish is a friend of mine. But my favorite win against Denish was I was trying out 34-card Monty, and I got Gambit, and my Gambit won the Gambit war.
Nice.
And yeah, he did not have a fun climb after that, and I heard it, but it was pretty fun, I gotta say.
If I had $1 for every time that dude dropped an emote on the card he was trying to gambit, and then it hit that card, I would have money.
That's how you target your Gambit. Pro tips. There's more training, but that's level 1.
Yeah, I think Stardust is a necessary card to have, and I think it's going to become more necessary with cards, like was mentioned in chat by Omega, is Horde. It's a frustrating card because it can end so many decks, and the arrogance, but I don't think anybody that plays Stardust does not have that snarky emote ready for when they try and play a Hela, or they try and blink out a card or do something, and you're just like, well, you don't get to do anything.
Arnim Zola? Nope. Absolutely not.
Watching my card just get destroyed and then disappear is a real crummy feeling. Or Jubilee just hitting the board and just like,
yes, exactly.
It does what it needs to do very well, but I think 4/7 might have been a bit too, like 4/7. It was just like, well, I'll run it anyway. 4/6, you have to think a little bit more about it and make that decision of, okay, I do need to run this card. And I think that's probably healthier, especially coming up to a season where cards are going to be interacting with what develops on the board. That's my thoughts.
Amen.
Fuck this card. Fuck this card being nerfed. Stop all the broods. Down with brood. No broodling for anti-xenomorph here.
Down with Surfer.
Wow, xenomorph. Like, did you know their home was destroyed, Glazer, and they are refugees.
Yeah, they also have acid
refugees.
blood.
They landed on Silver Surfer's surfboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, they were born like that. They did not have a choice.
Acid blood. So in the meantime, fuck xenomorphs. But no, like, all the plays that this has, like, this is such a cool card. The plays with various locations, right, are amazing. Just a lot of really cool stuff you can do with Stardust. I really, really like this card. I get why it's a 4/6. It's probably right that this is a 4/6. I like it better as a 4/7. And also, like, well, we'll talk more about Hela later, right? But, like, I don't know if Hela is healthy to exist. Like, I just think it changes. Like, the torch thing plus the Shang thing have led me to thinking a lot about the point values that Snap has that are acceptable and those that are just kind of like unacceptable and stupid. And like, Hela's probably unacceptable and stupid to the point where I'm fine with Stardust being kind of too strong.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Viv,
make Hela give -2 again.
Yeah,
Viv is a
do
card.
it. You won't, cowards.
No, don't do it.
Stop being nice to Danish. All right, Viv Vision 3/3. Yay! Go ahead, Duma.
I have problems with cards like Silk and Viv Vision because they literally just clog me every time I play them. The times I do get value out of the +1 to all the cards in my hand, it does feel good. I like it. It's fun. I'm definitely for her being at 3/3 now. The deck that it follows, the Batroc, yeah, that deck looks fun. I was playing against it earlier, and it was getting big points. You know, it was hopping things to the Craven, but like I said, it sometimes it'll just clog you, you know, and it'll hop to the wrong lane, and you'll get Killmongered, and then that's it. You're not getting much out of it, but I like it at 3/3. I think it could even be a 3/4, to be honest. It'd probably be too good at 3/4, but I don't mind it.
Viv Vision's a real card now. They released a $10 card. It wasn't playable for what, like 25 days, and now it's playable.
They went, oh shit, money, we need money.
Yeah, you gotta spend $20 if you want the real good card. Viv Vision.
You don't have to.
Well, you could spend 6,000 tokens. Very good change, by the way. Three thumbs up for that.
One of the best changes they've ever made.
Viv Vision is a underrated card, I think. I think this card was very, very fringe of playable at 3/2. I think it's good at 3/3. I talked about this a little bit on Snap Academy, but this card is competing with a 1 cost in late a lot of the time. So the baseline for 1s is 1/2. This now beats a 1 cost, so you get 1 proc. And the first proc is the toughest to get with Viv.
Yep.
The second proc, it's easier. Third proc, it's easier. If you get 2 procs with this card, she is playing for, like, in a game, reasonably, like a 3/11, 3/12. That's extremely good. That's more stats than Starbrand. I like this card. I think it's a very tough card to balance, though. based on you can't really change +1 power because then that's busted. You can't change the cost because then that's nuts. And at 4, I think it's a little bit too easy to get that first proc. The difficulty with this card needs to be on getting that first proc to activate because the other ones are going to be subsequently much easier. I like this card. I think it's a good card, but I don't think it's a great card. That being said, this was the most obvious buff. This and Awesome Andy were the two most obvious buffs I could have seen coming a mile away. I like this card where it's at. I think it's pretty cool. It's underrated. It's decent to good. When the point ceiling is a little lower, hopefully soon, I think we'll start seeing this card pop up in a good few more decks, and I think it's going to be pretty good in those decks.
Are you doing this in like the Batroc move, or are you putting this with like?
So there was a deck that I was working on. It was a Infinity Ultron buff deck, which I do think has some legs. Just when move goes away, maybe I can start working on that again. But it basically, you were trying to buff up an Infinity Ultron as much as possible, drop like a 10 or 11 power Ultron on 5, and then have like a Quinjet down, so you could go Jug plus 2 stones, and it's just a ton of points and a Jug. I think it's a very reasonable points and Juggernaut shell that you could reasonably work with. I think that Viv is a good part of that. There's also Mysterio stuff you can do because every buff you apply to Mysterio is effectively tripled. I think that's Mysterio. Interesting as well. Smart. I think Viv is definitely a good card. This Space Race meta is not the right one for Viv. I think the best Viv meta will be something a little bit lower to the ground. Something like a meta around the time when that Fenris Surfer list was good. Mm-hmm. Something like that. Low to the ground, small interaction pieces, all that stuff.
Do we ever get that low again? Have we just entered a new era?
It always happens when we get low. I mean, we were in...
It always happened. There have been some changes that make it less likely.
It makes it less likely, but I do think we'll go high, we'll go low. We're just at like one of the like tippity top peaks. I mean, when Bullseye released, we were at like a super high meta point. People asked the same question, and it went back down. So I feel reasonably confident that we'll eventually go back down and we'll go up. But in general, the meta will still keep power creeping up.
Yeah, I'll make it short. Viv good. I feel like she fits more. You don't feel as disappointed to play her on 3 now. And I think for a season pass card, it's the way this game continues. Like, it's one of the easiest ways for Snap to bring in money. Might as well make a good card better than a busted card like the Loki season. And I think if it sells a few more season passes and keeps people investing in the game, it extends the life of the game out. And I like talking about it. I like the people involved in it. I don't want that to go away. So if it's going to take doing stuff like this, I personally think it should have been done way sooner. I really think that they need to keep the season pass card strong enough to encourage those purchases, because I don't know. I just think it's a necessity. And it's nice to have a new card every season, regardless of what else you're doing. If you're just buying the season pass, you can know, okay, at least I'm getting a really solid card.
I feel like I have to be forgetting something, but I think this is still the worst season pass card of the year.
For sure.
Someone's going to say Esme, but like Esme had negative. And like it's done. Yeah. I think Esme is just underrated. But like I think this is the worst season pass card this year, even with the buff. There's something I feel like I'm forgetting. But I still think I think it's decent. Go ahead.
I'm thinking, what was the season after New X-Men?
I don't remember.
June.
What was the June?
What was
Carter?
June.
Carter is better.
No, Carter was April.
Old
that was
Carter,
the Arcane.
Sure. Old Carter, yeah, but like Carter was buffed her season.
Oh, Dormammu. Merlin and Merlin.
Definitely not Merlin. I think the only one it's in contention with is G-Man First Steps, but I think G-Man First Steps
Galactus
is probably
Steps is better.
Slightly better.
Yeah, I think Galactus.
I'm not that high on G-Man First Steps, like to begin with, but I mean, it's better than Viv. albeit I think slightly now. Like Viv is probably like a 7 out of 10 now, and G-Man's probably like a 7.5 to me.
So Iron Patriot, Sam,
way
obviously
better.
not. Agamotto's
really
better.
good. It's super interesting.
Carter buffed to better than
3-2 Carter,
Viv, right?
yes, is
better than 3-3 Viv. Esme, just for sheerly negative, but it's also just generally
it's a
solid.
Decent card. It's pretty underrated.
Yeah. Merlin, Pedro, and Galactus. Even nerfed Pedro is better than this. Sorry.
It's a good topic.
Yeah.
Future
So
podcast.
nerf. Well, okay. So Cougar in his buff deck was playing Viv Vision and then something else and just added Pedro. And I'm like, so what do you do on 3 if you have Pedro and Viv? He's like, you play Pedro. I was like, well, there you go. That's it, right? Like,
I don't know about that actually.
I think reasonably often you're just playing Pedro, unless you had a really strong start.
Do you have a 2? Do you have a 2? That's my question. Because if you can get Viv rolling,
a lot of it is the discount is a lot, right? Like, so the Viv is really trying to hit one card a lot of the time. If you've got 2 good targets in hand, I think it's better. But if you're only going to get 1 hit, getting 1 hit off Mr. Fantastic is getting 2 hits off Viv. Like, if you hit
I might be
Brood
higher
once
on
with
Viv than the average person because I play a lot of buff decks.
I like Viv.
We'll see.
I think Mr.
And you don't know what
better.
they have in their hand. You don't know. Like, if they've got 5 cards in their hand, they might be shit cards, but they could have, like I said, a Shaw and a Brood that are getting buffed every single turn because you're trying to do your own thing. And if they make that smart choice,
so here's the thing. A lot of the time when I'm playing against Viv Vision, I just ignore it and do my game plan and win anyway.
Right.
Like, I'm just like, oh, they played the Viv. They're going to get plus, I don't know, whatever. Can I just go taller than that? Great. If not, like, sometimes I'll mess around and mess up 1 or 2 hits. But, like, they play it on 3. Let's say they get 3 and 5. Okay. Fine. Good for you. I don't feel that threatened by that. And reasonably often it goes into a lane and that it accidentally clogs on turn 5. And I'm just like, oh, well, that's nice. Thanks. If there's like any squirrels or anything, this card accidentally clogs me all the motherfucking time.
Flags me.
It does though, right? Like there's like a squirrels or like a fucking raptors or whatever and then you're like, well, I have to put 3 cards in 1 lane, and then all I have to do is get Viv, and I've got a 50-50 on them clogging themselves. Those are real downsides.
I will say this has made the Batroc Little Movers deck feel really, really like it's leveled it up, and I think that's not a bad thing.
Than that deck. I think it's worse than that deck. I think it's
maybe now with all the Killmonger plays and the destroy, but without that, I don't know. Like it's easy to clinch that victory with a Hydra Bob, and you've got Batroc bouncing around. It feels.
It could feel better, but I think the deck is worse stats by a lot.
If you could miraculously go like Viv into like Gwenpool into Sarah, and you magically buffed your Mysterio, Shaw, and Hitmonkey like 3 turns in a row, and you could blow that out, that would be nice. But I just don't see too much consistency with what it's doing right now, especially.
Like I don't have a problem moving 1 card a turn in my move stuff deck, so I don't need Viv for Batroc. Is basically how this works.
I think it's the point ceiling here. Like this would be Surfer's best friend, but the points just isn't there, and he just doesn't bring up
Surfer
the points.
Doesn't play power on 2.
That's the thing.
All
I think
the
it's
stuff
a bit
Surfer
different
wants to do on 2 aren't powers on 2.
I think
you don't want to follow up Surge with this.
I think the build is different. I think.
So what power 2s exist?
I don't know. Like
I don't want to run Domino and Surfer. I don't want to run things in Surfer that make me less likely to see my Surfer.
Love Domino.
It's like it's
me too,
weird.
Surfer.
Because the other thing is that they don't release many good priority 2s anymore. I'd love to see them release 2/5 downside. Sounds great to me. This is also one thing I've also been thinking about this card with Agent Venom decks. That might be something that's interesting because you're playing a 2/5, and 2/5 is like a lot. So you're going to win that first proc. I think that's something that's reasonably
Sure, but those decks only run Agent Venom as a 2 that has any power. Their other 2 drops are like Surge and Thena and like
Could fit a few 2/3s in there as well.
I guess like, Merlin.
I think that's interesting, but
yeah,
I think we've talked
Gamers
enough
says the
about
Havoc
Viv.
nerf killed it. Yeah, I don't know. Viv is one of the most disappointing cards I think they've ever released for me. Because I was really excited for this, and I don't think it's good. Like not one of the worst cards, one of the most disappointing. Because I think that this is like a really cool idea that in practice just kind of says, meh. Like if they released this right after Iron Patriot and right after fucking when Sam was really great, we'd be cooking, right?
That'd be some
That's not the world we live in.
What if it was that you could move her if you were losing the lane at the end of the turn?
3/3 that buffs that you can move it?
Yeah, sure.
Well, obviously at that point, maybe she needs to be a 3/2.
That'd be the best card of the game. That seems like a bad idea.
That sounds like Data Mind Viv, who was what was she? She was a 3. She was this stat line, but she was also Captain Marvel. So
right.
Yeah, that was gonna be nuts. Is it time to move from a disappointing card to another disappointing card?
Yes.
Do we have to talk about Dormammu? Didn't we talk about Dormammu already?
We did talk about
Dormammu's a 7/12 now. Let's just do Destroyer. I don't see a you want to say the same things about Dormammu that we did an hour ago?
Well, I just see 2 cards right here that are like Destroy Synergy, but I don't see 2 real cards here. I think these are 2 like fake cards. Like, they don't look that good.
I think Destroyer as a 6/18 is worth exploring.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be great.
So
if I can go Shuri, Destroyer, and I don't think this is hard to do. Shuri, Destroyer, Taskmaster. I've got 36 power in 2 lanes.
So you're getting yes, and you're vulnerable to every tech card under the sun?
You're vulnerable to 2 tech cards, Shang-Chi and Shadow King.
Yeah, a lot of decks after move gets butchered will probably play one of the 2.
If you play Wong, Black Panther, Zola.
Yeah, same thing. Wong, Black Panther, Zola dies to a lot of tech cards.
Why not run all those in one deck? Just do it.
Also dies the Juggernaut in the second lane. 50-50 to lose.
Destroyer does the 50-50 for Juggernaut, not loses to Juggernaut, right?
So it's a 50-50 to lose to one of the most common tech cards in the game. Insta lose to Shang.
You take your 50-50s. Yeah, I
don't know.
Shang isn't real. People keep telling me Shang's real. I see Shang 1 in every 20 fucking games. That's not a real card. I'm not playing around 1 in every 20 games.
But also, the game Marvel Snap is supposed to be fun. I don't know about y'all, but I understand some people like this, but I don't want to play like 3 cards a game and have it be Shuri, Destroyer, Taskmaster. I went through that. A lot of us lived through the Black Panther season. Like, we know what that was. That's all that it was. And I don't know. That's just bland to me. Making it interesting, like the Regis deck that has gotten some decent traction. Sure, give me that. But I don't know. Just big Destroyer, sure. There's not necessarily a ton of tech out there that's going to stop it. But why play it? Like, I'd rather have a nap.
So I'm probably going to end up throwing this into some Nimrod things to see. I think there's a reasonable chance that a Magic Nimrod deck that's already running Shuri, that's already running Symbiote, can just be like, and I've got Destroyer and Taskmaster, because why the fuck not?
Okay, but also here's the thing. This is something interesting, because I've been listening to a few players, and there's actually been more than silence on this change. People think you should have the old text. I think for Nimrod, you can 100% argue you should have the old text.
Yeah,
I think at 620, destroy everything, so he's as big as the Infinite with that downside. I think this is all of a sudden quite an appealing card. But as for now, I just think that it's like, no, just not a fan. I want him to go back to that old text. I think it's a lot cooler, and just this card, it's not as much of a synergy piece as it used to be. So sure, you can slam points on it, but at what point do points stop mattering for a 6 drop? Like, there's 16 to 18 a world-shaking difference on this card? I don't think so.
It's close.
It's plus. It's a 32 power card versus a 36 power card. Is 32 versus 36 swinging a lane? Do you think it's
sometimes? So like
I don't think it's enough of the time to count this as a massive buff.
Not massive, but it's a buff.
Well,
it's a buff that makes
it's
it that takes it from. I don't
yeah.
really want to even look at this. If you're running this in your Nimrod deck, I think you're wrong. It's worth exploring and seeing if a Nimrod deck would prefer this.
Maybe you've got half an eye open. Maybe I'm in the morning and I got like my eye like winking like this when I'm waking up for
Fair
this
enough.
card.
Hey, let's not go into too much detail about your morning routine.
All right, he's got his one-eyed snake in the morning. That's very not excited about Destroyer, but is excited about Awesome Andy.
I thought that's what he called it. Sorry. I mean, what about Awesome Andy?
I like him.
Duma.
He's awesome. He's good. I mean, I don't really. He's still just the one activate ability of Herbie, right? Like he goes in like 1-2 specific decks. I'm not a big fan of Awesome Andy. Not a big fan.
I'm such a big. Well, one, I think the name is pretty awesome. Fun fact: I'm going for Mastery 30 on this card. I've already like 11 splits in, and I'm not stopping until I get those reactions because they are amazing.
His comics are great. They're great.
This is a card specifically in Sauron, which I know has been discussed, is extremely interesting. Let's look at 2 important cards in that deck. Enchantress, and you can now begin to run Gladiator, because Andy makes 8 to 10. Gladiator becomes a 10, Scar costs 2 less. I think that's a very meaningful interaction that you want to look at. Also, this guy is baseline 2/6. I think it's slightly different. Also, as mentioned in the chat by Gamer, Surtur as well. Surtur becomes a 10 again. So that, but also with Herbie. Herbie's interesting because I think this card takes up a similar space. But Herbie is a 2/6 himself. And the other 2 abilities, they make him a 2/7. One of them clogs you with a rock that also dies to Shadow King and Killmonger. One of them requires 2 cards at every location. And we know from old Miss Marvel that 2 is a significantly higher price than 1 at a location in this game. So I think Andy is probably a little bit worse, but on the same level as Herbie, and you can justify each in different decks. I like this card. I think the Scar synergy with this card is underexplored. I think it's extremely interesting. And I think that this is a real card now. 2/6 is a real stat line that, I mean, you can realistically play this card. Turns 2 to 5. It is a dead draw on 6, so I think you can't afford to have this be just a straight up 2/6. We'll see how this ends up. I think 2/3, and this card becomes very generic because it's just straight up good. But at a 2/2, I like Andy. I think Andy's good, and he's pretty awesome.
I would love a card like this to be better. And I do think this makes him better. But I mean, I think this is the definition of unexplored. How many people are playing this card? If I look at the stats of this card, what is the popularity going to be? I saw it a little bit with some Nomura stuff early on, in both, other people's streams and my own gameplay. But outside of that, he's just languished. Maybe Jocasta can bring something to this card. But it's a cool character. It's a cool design. It's one of the few base arts that I'm like, I like this base art. And I think that's an important thing to have in this game. You want people to have cards that are sometimes just funny or interesting, but that serve a place and serve some level of purpose. And I think maybe Andy could get there. I like the talk about the interaction with Surtur and potentially bringing something up there. I don't think most people have thought about it in that way. The randomness is a bit challenging, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a powerhouse card, but I think it should at least be a usable card.
It's good. 2/6 is good. I think we're overthinking. That's kind of it. It's worth exploring in almost any deck that plays cards in multiple locations. It's also like definitely good with Jocasta. Like it just is. You're happy to just have this be like you don't always want to hit it with the Jocasta, but you're happy to have it as an option to hit with Jocasta. Like you're not sad to just be like, okay, sure, I'll take an extra 4 power. There is some mild like anti-synergy there, right? Like if you play it in the same lane with Danger, you can't Jocasta both this and Danger. The same thing is true to a different extent with the other card, what's it called? Omega Sentinel, right? Like you can't get the second awesome anti-trigger and the second Jocasta trigger, assuming you want to buff the Omega Sentinel. But you can buff other things and then get double Omega Sentinel, double awesome anti. That's perfectly fine, probably a lot of power. It's really good in Surtur decks. It's really good if you just have a generic spot for it too. There's not a lot of very good 2s in Marvel Snap right now that you just want to play on turn 2. And this is a 2 that you're just happy to drop on turn 2, and you will find value out of later. 2/6 is good stats. We played Lizard for fucking ever because it was a 2/5, right? And then like we still try and find room for Lizard as a 2/6 now. This is a 2/6. Stop overthinking it. It's a good card.
Yes, sir.
What do you take out? You take out Surge, or
can we also mention
Surge
as well? This is
for
like
me.
the best. This is one of the best animations in the game. When he buffs the cards, he puts a little chalkboard and he draws a smiley face on them. I think that's awesome. Also, his variants are peak.
Almost as good as the Warlock.
I'd argue better. I think it's funny. Also, it's a real card as opposed to Warlock, who's a bad card.
And in the Surtur deck, what are you taking out for? Like, what are you putting in for Gladiator? Are you taking out like for Crossbones or something?
Probably like a Typhoid Mary, maybe. We'll see about the Gladiator one. That's the one I'm less sure of. Surtur is definitely like legit with this card because it makes Surtur a 10 again, and then this card can cost 1. Very good.
Very good.
All right, is it time to move on to Lockjaw?
Do we have to? Sure, Lockjaw is a 2
card.
That's better.
Plus 1 point on a bad card. Keep this card bad. I don't really have anything to say.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I think I seen Husky playing it. Maybe Husky or Fudge. One of them. They're blinking and doing a bunch of crazy stuff with them.
Lockjaw's just not it.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there any reason we can't even think about considering bringing the Lockjaw like roulette back in?
Wait,
I kind of missed that.
What Lockjaw are we talking about here? Are we talking about
the hammer
4 cost or 3 cost?
Just the endless cycling. We can worry about cost at another point in time, but it's more so I like being able
to. The 4 cost Lockjaw, there was a Hela deck. It was under the radar, but it was good with Lockjaw. But I mean, with the endless cycling, this card can't cost 3. I'm sorry. This is my most hated card in the game for a reason. Keep it bad, please.
For you, Smiles, I will step back and allow it to be just mid.
I think it's playable, but it's just not good.
It's playable, but you like shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mystique is a 3/1. Nobody
takes negative down.
I have some takes. I think this is an interesting change. I think it's more than I think it's a slap on the wrist, but it's a firm slap on the wrist to negative. Jane no longer pulls Mystique. You can't play Gore plus flip Mystique on the final turn. You can't play Null plus flip Mystique on the final turn. You can still play Iron Man plus flip Mystique on the final turn, but in general, I think this is more than nothing to negative, but it does not solve the negative problem, which I believe we'll be talking about later, but we'll see. I like the direction they're going with this, but we'll see. Gore going to 6/1 would have been a much more significant change.
Anyone?
I got nothing for it.
Yeah. No. I think it hurts negative a little bit, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's an interesting and kind of inspired change that kind of, I don't know, it just makes things interesting. I'm all for it.
It makes the card better in every deck but negative, and it makes it significantly worse than negative. So I think it's a brilliant change. Genuinely a great change. I'm saving my big spicy take for negative though. So, ready?
Ready.
All right.
Let's go.
So these are the cards I wanted to just talk about in sort of pairs. Let's start with Move Torch and Sparky, and Mercury, and where they are in the meta. They weren't changed. Should they be changed? What is their ability? What is their place? All the good stuff. I'm gonna let Smiles go first with this one because he's been saying he wants to talk about Torch literally all episode. So we'll go Smiles, Doom, and Make Me.
Okay, we'll start with Mercury because that's the easy part. I think Mercury's fun. I think Mercury's a balanced card. That's all I have to say about Mercury. Well, next go to Sparky. I think Sparky's a bit overtuned. I think they should bring him back to the 2/2+2. I think that was a much more fair version of the card. +3 is just a little bit crazy. Now Torch. I don't know how many listeners here are in the Pixel Discord, Rorum's Discord. I think for the past 4 months, I've been the biggest Torch hater in the whole Discord. Move Bounce is one of my least favorite decks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Torch doubling is just ridiculous. This card at a 1/2 was honestly 3/3 was a side grade because it no longer dies to Killmonger. This card's cost was not the issue. The issue is that this guy doubles. And this guy's doubling is just quite frankly out of control. When I play Move, I snap when I draw Torch. That's how powerful he is. With Move, I just say, okay, I'll just Hellion and Heimdall in the lane that they're not really contesting. And in the lane that they're contesting, I'm just going to drop a 54 power Torch and tell them, good luck, you're losing this lane. This card is just ridiculous. This card needs a restriction put on it for how many times it can double. It is absolutely insane how this card exists. I think this is the singular card that is completely driving up the meta to an insane amount of levels. And because you don't know where it's going to go, there's also less Chi, because Chi is no longer because Chi is not really an effective counter to it. The only card that effectively counters Torch is being played at an incredibly high rate at the top of Infinite and Mercury. Literally, I think probably 50% of games I'm playing against have a Mercury in them. And it's just insane that I still continue to climb on Move. It's nuts. This card should not exist in the way it does. I have 2 ways to nerf this card that I think would be plausible. One of them is to make it a 4 cost, because I got 4 cost, this is actually difficult to fit in a curve. And the second way is to make it a 3/2, nerfing the stats, and making it only double once per turn. Because a Torch doubling 3 times in the same turn is nuts. And I've played Torch Tribunal. I've played a Torch turn 6, and that Torch is getting to 512 power. Torch should not be able to double that much. That is my take.
I think, yeah, Torch big. Torch get real big, and I get really bored of playing the Sparky move deck. I play it a lot. I like to do the Alioth Heimdall version of it. I have more when I'm playing against it. I don't really have a problem because I do run Mercury Cannonball in most of my builds, and I kind of enjoy it. It's like a little puzzle of should I move Mercury this turn or should I hold Mercury right here and blah this. But other than that, I enjoy the Living Tribunal Hercules version of this deck. I like playing against it. I think it's fun to watch people just get a 200 power Torch and then try and Living Tribunal. I think it's just another one trick deck in my opinion. If they're not seeing the Torch, if my copycat hits their human Torch, I'll just snap them. But yeah, it's always been Move. I watch Sizer play Move all the time. Absolutely insane watching him play it. I don't think it's unhealthy. I think it's all right.
An hour.
What else to say about it? I mean, the Move bounce. that's another deck I don't even enjoy playing it. I can play it just fine, but I feel like I have to almost I don't know. People have gotten good at playing against the bounce version. I think what happened. I was playing Spida, right? He's like rank 11,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up like cosmic Ghost Rider on his torch as he was going to bounce it that same turn. And on that same turn, I moved the Mercury into the web lane where he just dropped the dagger, and it was just an instant retreat. So, I mean, it's not impossible to beat. You just have to have the tech to beat it. If you're trying to play like Sauron or something like that, you're definitely going to get outmatched by, a torch, though. So, I don't know.
I think Torch worked being a big chonker, especially back in the day, because you could throw Killmonger down anywhere, and unless they were running Kyra or hit it behind an armor, you could take it out. And there was some play against it. There needed to be a specific plan in place to get it up off the board, to avoid something like that happening. Now, what's there to stop it? You've got Madam Web, you've got Ghost Spider, you got Sparky. That card is bouncing around like nobody's business. You can't hit it with Killmonger anymore. And I think it feels too dominant and too unnecessarily powerful and in your face. And then the Sparky stuff with stuff like Dagger and that nonsense, like seeing Dagger in one turn go from nothing to 20 power just because they were smart and saved it to that last turn. I don't know how you easily play around something like that. And I think it may be making move almost too easy, especially if you have a tribunal side of it and play that properly, because it doesn't matter where your points end up. It matters that you just get the specific cards you need. Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird to see so much move.
Move has been the best deck in the game since the day they released Madam Web. Period. There have been times we played it more and played it less. There have been times it was buffed and times it was nerfed. Move has been the best deck in the game for a year plus. It has.
I don't know about a year.
Sometimes it's hard to play and it's not really worth it for everyone. Sometimes other things are nearly as good. But without running very, very hyper-specific tech, nothing consistently beats Move.
Okay, but also there was that time when Thanos was close to tier 0.
Fine.
That time when Sam Wilson was a 2-3.
Who was number 1 all those seasons?
It was Sizer. I almost caught him once. It was close, but I never
who was
did.
number 1 all those seasons, and what was he playing?
Move, bounce.
So if you're good with Move, yeah, all those decks were really great. And what made them better wasn't that they were better, it was that Move Bounce used to be really fucking hard to play. And you know what they went and did? They made Move and Move Bounce idiot proof.
Yeah.
That's what these changes are. That's what Sparky says. You don't actually have to be good with this anymore. You're just going to win.
Well, first, I think Move Bounce was a little overrated on the difficulty, but also
it was hard. I couldn't stream it.
It was difficult, but it wasn't super tough. I personally think Hela was harder, but that's a topic.
So my problem with Move Bounce was I couldn't stream Move Bounce, and a lot of my games nowadays are on stream. I cannot think through Move Bounce and talk.
That's tough.
Someone in chat would be like, blah, 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 idea. And I'd be like, I don't even know what I'm moving, when, where, what, how, why. Did I bounce this last turn? When am I doing things?
So the torch goes to the 4th location, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
But that was my big problem with Bounce. Outside of that, it was fine. It was totally fine. Yeah, Ultron emote indeed. Home. But it's just, I think Move needs to be really redone. I think Mercury should not be able to move. But I don't think that's because of Move. I think that just Mercury's ability is more than good enough without the move to see play. She can be a 2-3 and not move. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
And Move needs to be fucking just reworked.
If they do that,
take Move and rework it.
Okay. I've been a fan of 3-cost Madam Web for a while. But I also think that Mercury kind of does need to move against move. Like, you're using
Against
the move a
yes.
lot.
Against move, yes. Against like pure move, yes.
Okay,
But like that's the only thing it
if
needs
you
to move against.
restructure move, you would
So
need to probably nerf. You'd probably need
like
to make
5
like
cards.
Heimdall is 6/7, Hellion a 5/5, Madam Web at 3 cost. Torch gets completely reworked into a whole new ability.
Yep.
Dagger goes to a 2/1.
Yes. That is what needs to happen. Yes. Oh.
I would be a fan of that.
Me too. I don't think they're doing it. I think move is genuinely like when you're playing against a move player who's a good move player and they snap you, unless you're running specific anti-move tech, you have to run. I mean, if you care, there's no reason to stay. You can win, but you're like 30% to win. Games like Marvel Snap are built on the difference between a 54% win rate and a 57% win rate. They're not built on the between a 70% win rate and a 30% win rate. That's not balance.
What was the finals of the last? It wasn't it. It was the discard versus what was it?
Discard versus Morgan Le Fay.
Discard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Le Fay.
It was Morgan, and then Morgan beat Move, which that was
insane. That was insane.
I really enjoyed watching that game, but I think that Move deck was an extremely strong deck, probably a little bit overtuned, but not significantly. This whole thing, I don't know if move overall is the problem as much as Torch is the problem, because
I can see that.
I can see that, and I can also see Sparky being the problem. I think both of those cards combined, both those need a massive nerf. I think if you make Torch a 3/2 that doubles once per turn and Sparky give +2, I think move is still ST. I think move is still S tier, but I think it's like manageable. Like, you don't need to run Mercury.
Yeah, I could see that. So what my problem was with Torch right now is he's just contaminating things. We're now just running decks that are just like, and I run Human Torch and 3 move cards, because why the fuck would I not just have an 18 power card in my deck?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, if you do Aranya, Torch, 1/2, and then Sparky, the Torch goes from 4 to 8 back to 11 to 22. And you just have a 22 power card that you can put in any lane but the right lane. This is like way better Giganto. And the other 2 cards are not dead draws in your deck. I mean, when I've been playing Move, I've been using one of Aranya or Sparky on Torch and the other on Dagger. And my Torch is 28 and my Dagger is 18 with a Heimdall in the lane. Nice game. Good game. I just put out 28 points, and I chose where they were.
Power must be controlled. Shang would help control that.
Shang doesn't help with that, though.
Yes, it does.
It's move. It's harder.
Yes, it is harder, but it helps
better.
That Dagger lane. It's a lot better. Like, cause again, I played against a lot of move players, and eventually you know what the right plays are.
It's just, I don't know. I think that Mercury is the only reason why this game is playable right now.
Agreed. Mercury cannot be touched right now. Mercury is the most important card.
Mercury
if you don't own
Mercury right now.
The second they start, the second move bounce migrates to the rest of the metagame outside of just the top infinite, right? The second other players start playing move, Mercury is the most important card to own in the game.
I frankly think move bounce is, after 3 cost Torch, not as great. And Sparky is just making that deck extremely busted. I think that normal move is Sparky, just regular busted. I think Sparky is making move bounce playable, which says a lot.
I mean, it's not playable. It's like Sizer in hundreds of games had a 72% win rate. You're not allowed.
Subtract 10%, and that's the average win rate.
Sure,
let's be so for real.
But
Sizer's
you're not. But Sizer with that deck pre Sparky with the old move pre all the nerfs was a 62-64% win rate. 6% win rate in hundreds of games is a crazy spike that Sparky has provided this fucking list. That's like, you can't say what was already the best win rate got 6 to 7% more. That's fucking stupid.
It is. They neutered the wrong dog last OTA.
Yeah.
Should have made Sparky a 2. Make Sparky a 2/3 that gives +1. There we go.
Why the fuck does Sparky give +3?
It's nuts. They bumped him. He was a 2/2+2 data mine forever, and they changed it like 2 weeks before.
2/2+2 is still probably broken. Plus 3 when I can double it, and then I can double the double is insane. Like, because you, in that play pattern you described earlier, used Sparky last. If you're not worried about tech, you can use Sparky first and then get more doubles.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's crazy. You can do as well. Like, I don't know. Because every time I think move is busted, I go into the main Discord and I see people whining that they need a 4th move scaler.
Yep.
And that
People
just makes me think that move will never get nerfed and that in 3 months I'm never going to play this again.
I posted Cougar's deck, the Tribunal Torch thing, in no tech land. And people are like, if you don't see Torch, you're dead. This deck is terrible. And I'm like, oh,
well, that's why it runs Crystal Misery. That's what I gotta say.
Oh my fucking god. Like, even then, like 75% of your game is being fucking auto wins isn't enough for you.
It's nuts. It's just
I feel like there's something to say about...
There's a reason why I hate Human Torch, and it's really coming out right now. I might hate Human Torch more than I hate the Yankees, and I'm wearing a Red Sox cap right now.
Sometimes I think it's just the player. Like, some players with their like pet decks are just insane. Like, like Chamo, like Dark Razor, when he was doing his surfer thing, I would watch that kid play for hours, and it was just like...
But hang on. Number 1 player right now in the world, unsurprisingly, is Sizer. Am I going the wrong way on this shit?
A lot.
Yeah, it's Sizer by almost a record amount of points. The number 4 player is number 1 Mercury Hater. At number 11, we have Spida. And God forbid we know what all these other people are playing, right? Like, we know Cougar made his big climb at rank 8 with a move deck. We know at least
Cougar's
4 top players.
Cougar's been on move all season.
Yeah, we know at least 4 top players in the top 10 are playing a significant amount of move. That's beyond it just being a Sizer problem.
And this is also one of the highest... Okay, one other thing I want to mention. I pay attention to leaderboards a lot. I climb them often. I'm currently just outside of top 20. I'll probably get back there today or tomorrow, whatever. This is the highest SP it's been to get into the top 10, like, in 2025. This is ridiculous. Because last season, what tends to happen is that in more closed metas, so metas like last meta with the Cannonball Mercury stuff, the threshold for top 10 is a lot lower because there's a lot more tech decks, and tech decks basically drag the top SPs down. And you might, in a normal season, you might get to 9,500 and that's top 10. This one, the last one was like 9,300 because it was harder to climb. This season, it is easier to climb because there is a tier 0 deck in the meta. When a tier 0 deck is in the meta, you see so much more people at such high SP. The last time this happened was in April, the What If season.
Yeah.
What deck was running all over in the What If season? Thanos. Thanos was tier 0. Move is tier 0. This is completely busted. When the leaderboard is significantly higher than it has been in the last 2 seasons to get to the top 10, you can reasonably infer that it is a few extremely good players taking advantage of the most busted and broken deck in the game. I think Move
Derek doesn't play Move.
Who?
Derek.
Derek is just Derek. Derek can win with the starter deck. He is just that good at this game.
He's utterly ridiculous.
So I think this just basically is me telling you, Move is the best deck Move right now is the strongest deck we have had in 2025, and it's not even close. This is, I think, the first like true tier 0 deck we've had since like I don't know, was Surtur, Agent Venom, that stuff. Like back in 2024. No. I think this is significantly better than we had Thanos.
Oh, this is better than the Surtur.
Oh, if I was on a break then. So if we're saying it's better than the Surtur, how far back does it go?
I don't know if it was better than original Agent Venom. Original Agent Venom decks.
Agent Venom. At least then. And that was released in, what, like 4 days a year ago? This is by far the strongest deck we've had in a year. This is ridiculous. We've talked enough about Move. I could go for 6 hours on this.
All right. Let's Vicki Hand. has seen a real spike in win rate, despite the meta getting way stronger. How much of that is Bastion? Because I think Bastion is one of the most underrated cards in the game right now. How much of that is that it's the only native home for Shadow King right now? And does Vicki Hand need a nerf? If not right now, are we getting close? Where are we on that? Duma?
This and the Wiccan Kang deck are my two go-to decks. I just love playing Hood Misery stuff. I'm a big fan of the Ancient one. I love the C5 deck that has like you can either do the Miss Marvel stuff or the Cerebro stuff. So I like actually incorporating the Ancient hand into the Vicky stuff. Even with like a Prodigy and a Frigga, just getting as many Vickies as humanly possible on the field is just super fun to me. I love Victoria Hand. I don't think she's like in need of a nerf per se. When she goes off, and when she doesn't, you retreat for one. So what else about Vicki Hand? I'm a big fan of like Iron Patriot stuff too. I miss the big discounts on him, but he's right where he needs to be. The deck's good. It's good. I think it's fair.
Going back to what you said, Glazer, only native home for Shadow King. Shadow King good right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's probably that's part of it. I have not played much Bastion v Hand because I've been playing more combo lately because of last topic, which I will not discuss further as to make this podcast a reasonable length. And it is also very late where I am.
We're already well over a reasonable length. Don't worry about it.
Vicky is good. Needs a nerf. Maybe. We gotta see what happens to the first boogeyman, which is Move. When that gets nerfed, maybe then we can discuss nerfing Victoria Hand. But as for now, Victoria Hand is I think right now it's a fine mid-range check. Reasonably run Shadow King. I enjoy playing Victoria Hand. I think it's got a bit of a skill cap a little bit, especially with the Moon Girl versions. Moon Girl is the Moon Girl build of that is a very difficult deck to play.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I think it's fine. In this meta, I think it's fine. Probably should play more of it because I really enjoy Victoria Hand. But yeah, I enjoy playing Vic Hand. Qualified for Worlds on it. And it was good then. It's good now. No longer the best deck, but still a good deck. Quite enjoy it.
I have something to announce after Nick goes because your head's gonna explode. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think Victoria Hand is in that big of a need of a nerf. Looking at the stats, at least from the stats perspective of it, I think it's fine. It doesn't feel as oppressive as something like Move does. When you see Victoria Hand, maybe they won't get it. You never know what that end will be. And sometimes those nice surprises are when they throw that stuff down at the end of the game and you're just like, well, crap. I think Bastion as well runs into the issue of being a bit of a higher skill cap card to run in the Victoria Hand deck as a whole. Not that it's a difficult card to run, but just knowing when to play it, how to pull those cards back. I don't think it's seen a ton. And I do think popularity should be taken into account when you're talking about nerfing decks, unless it is heavily affecting a specific group. Like at the top end of the leaderboards, clearly Move is doing that. And I think Vicki Hand did, thanks to a certain someone that we all know, a certain Zenaid, who is the Victoria Hand truther and always was.
Wait, Zenaid? No, he's not.
No, Zen's the Sauron guy. No,
yeah, you have the wrong person.
Guy is Derek.
Yeah.
Derek loves Vic.
At the beginning of this season, Zen came on stream with me trying to help me. He was all in on Victoria Hand. So maybe it wasn't as extended as a period of time, but he was obsessed.
He is the Sauron.
He was like,
and for a little bit, the Morgan guy.
I talk more about Vic than Zen most of the time.
Yeah.
I play a fair bit.
The way he presents it, though, I swear, it's like he just discovered it and this is his baby. But to be fair,
this
is
how he talks about things. Yeah, that's fine.
That's fair. As I'm saying that, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But anyway, I don't think it's crazy insane right now. I think it's a fine deck, and like Smile said, let's see what happens when Move is taken down a peg or two.
So, did y'all see the Safety Blade version of this?
I have not.
It is fucking broken.
On screen?
So I posted it, I don't know, fucking Tuesday or something, and it got overrun because it's been a big week, right? And almost no one noticed it. You know who noticed that deck? Sizer. You know what deck Sizer's been playing and climbing with?
Is he playing
the Vicki Hand? The Vicki Hand ongoing deck.
Wait, what ongoing? Like,
it's Mercury, it's Bastion, it's Moonstone, and Moonstone and Captain Carter and Captain America.
Because I've been running.
I saw
I was
Binks
running
playing this
Moon Girl V Hand with ongoing stuff for a while, and it was fun. This sounds interesting. I might have to take a look at it. I love this stuff.
It's like Bastion the shield, and then like the Mobius will make it a 0. And
oh my god!
Yeah. Ant-Man. Okay, Brady just posted the list. Ant-Man.
Disgusting.
Ooh.
It's fucking disgusting. Like, I don't know how to. Brady went and found it. Thank you, Brady.
That looks. I saw that.
It has so many stupid plays. It is completely fucking like I shared it, and Safety made his so you know it's good. Here's how I know. Here's how I knew the deck was special, and I shut up about it because I'm not an asshole. Safety has this deck, and he's got this crazy win rate, right? And then a day later, I go back to pull it, and his profile is private. I went, oh shit, this is one of the best decks in the game. And then I messaged Safety, I'm like, private? And he's like, I got a deck, I'm keeping the secret. And I don't say anything. I'm just like, okay. I have the deck saved now, right? Like, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just wait. A week later, he's like, now, share now. I'm like, okay, done. He's like, I just wanted to climb. I wanted to make sure I stayed in the top 10 this season. This deck is nuts. The deck is nuts. It's got one of the best matchups into Move in Marvel Snap. Because it can match up on points, because Moonstone, Captain America, bullshit.
Goliath, so crazy.
Yeah, Goliath, with all that shit in one lane is nuts, especially if you get a Carter there, right? And it's got the Mercury in it to just be like, fuck you, Move. It matches up with everything. The Vicki Hand is literally a Bastion card here. I guess Frigga's fine, right? But like, you can also just like Frigga other things just fine. This deck is stupid strong. It's got so many plays. It's stupid strong.
The only thing that's interesting is Bastion over Moon Girl here. That's just it for me. I've played an extremely similar list. Like,
it just says you can play things on different turns, and you don't like, right? Like, it just says you can do things like copying. I know this seems wild, but copying Sam's shield for 0 is really good.
It's so good.
Especially because that's going to be like a 0/7 too. 0/7 is not.
Yes.
That also can't be destroyed. So you've got some upside into locations as well.
You drop it on the Carter, and you're just like, all right. And then you've got a 1/3 Carter that's a 1/5 or 1/7 Carter.
It's disgusting.
It's a thing that you can do.
Yeah, maybe I got to play that tonight. We'll see.
So it's a thing. Yeah, and so Mobius is actually important too for the copying of the shield. Outside of that, it's really just like negative tech, but like, and it's an ongoing, right? So you're happy to have it. But it's largely here for when you copy the shield. Copying the shield is really, really good.
I didn't think of that.
I never even thought. Never even.
That's a cool synergy. Good on Safety for figuring that out.
It is
so fun.
It's just, and it doesn't get it does just enough fun police. That, like, look, it's weak to Enchantress, right? Like,
but I mean,
you're
one deck plays it.
Yeah, exactly. You've got
it's
like
me.
That one
it's my deck. That's it.
And even then, like, you could beat Enchantress. Enchantress stops one lane, and you should be able to compete for 3.
And Slug is
0/3 shield buffed by.
I think the only significant negative matchup that has. I think my Sauron list would be positive into it, but like no one's playing that. There's like 2 people playing that. It's me and Heart of the Cards, and that's it.
I think that's probably that deck should be setting the meta right now.
It should, but the problem is it can't run Mercury, so that's it.
He can run Shadow King. All right.
Good. Yeah.
All right. Thing, First Steps, and Juggernaut. So I think Thing, First Steps, and Juggernaut are why mid-range exists. They're the only, like, and Mercury, obviously, right? Like, because Thing, First Steps, Juggernaut decks can effectively run Mercury. Thing is unbelievably good at winning a single lane. The best, like, non-stupid giant combo card at winning a single lane is Thing, First Steps, at least in my opinion. And Juggernaut says I win another lane too. And when you combine those two things, I think Juggernaut is the second best card in Marvel Snap right now. Third at worst if you want to put Mercury number 2 after Torch. And I think Thing, First Steps is the best 5-drop in the game, period.
Hellion?
I think Thing is better than Hellion. I love Hellion. Hellion's one of my favorite cards in the game.
Hellion's really
I called
good.
Hellion, and everyone's like, Hellion's gonna be fine. Hellion's gonna be fine.
Hellion was so obviously good.
You gotta listen to the normies, man. They didn't like Hellion at all.
That's main Discord stuff. That's not real. I don't believe it.
Right.
Round 2, I don't believe you here, but I would flip the order. I think Juggernaut's better at winning a single lane than Thing. But I also think Thing is a little bit overrated. Just a smidge. I don't think he's in that S tier or 5-drops. I think he's in the A tier. I think he's... Okay. I was talking about this earlier with some friends. I will outline this. Thing First Steps is very mid in a deck without Ghost Spider. Ghost Spider makes Thing First Steps really, really good. All the best Thing First Steps decks run Ghost Spider. Hence, I don't think Thing First Steps is the card that's ridiculous. I think Ghost Spider, we lost Nick, as a 1/3 that can pull the big guy into another lane is what's ridiculous. I think that this is a Ghost Spider merchant. I think we're going to see a lot more Ghost Spider, and I think Ghost Spider is the card that's crazy. Don't get me wrong. Thing First Steps is a very good card. He is like a 9 out of 10 card.
I really like Ghost Spider Juggernaut.
But I think Ghost Spider is crazy, and I agree. Jug is the second best card in the game. He went from number 1 to number 2. Amazing nerf second dinner. Let's make this guy a 5 cost. And then they're going to
fix Human Torch, and then he'll be right back to number 1.
Yep. Make him a 5. He needs to be a 5. Just we've seen him at a 4/5. Negasonic is the card that should have been the 4/5. This guy should be a 5/7 or a 5/8. There is no reason why this guy should not cost 5.
No, I think he should be a 5/6, but that's fine.
5/6 is...
I think he's broken as a 5/7 or a 5/8.
Kick him out.
I think he's broken as a 5/7 or 5/8. As a 5/7 or 5/8, he's maybe the third best card in the game.
I don't know about that. 5 is... Okay. I don't know about third best card in the game. I think he's still very good.
Do you understand that I can still Ghost Spider him?
Yes,
and that's still a 10 power lane.
6 is a lot less than Ghost Spider.
He auto wins 1 lane because I can be up in 1 fucking lane in Marvel Snap. It's not hard to be up in 1 lane. And then I'm adding 10 power to a different lane.
That's fine. I think that's fine. I think at 5/7 this card it's still good. I think it's 5/6. I think it's still really good. But there's just... Okay, we saw this guy at 3 costs. He was the best card in the game by far. We saw this guy at 4 costs. Everyone's like, oh, I don't know. And then everyone's like, yeah, this guy is still just the best 4 costs in the game, bar none. We see Negasonic. Negasonic's what a 4/5 should be. It's a lot of disruption, but it's not, I instantly win this game because I'm playing Juggernaut disruption. I mean, it's a little bit plug here, but I think it's relevant. In my latest episode of my podcast, we were talking about locations. And it got mentioned that, we were talking about Nidavellir. It's like, Juggernaut's the best card in Nidavellir. I'm like, no crap. Juggernaut's the best card on every single location in the game.
In
he fairness, just literally wins the location. In fairness,
the best card in Nidavellir is Iron Man because you play the turn before Juggernaut happens.
That's what I was arguing. I was arguing Carter or Iron Man. Both of those cards. It's like, Juggernaut's the best card in every lane. He doesn't count. It's just, this card is broken. And it's been broken since the game began. Why can't this guy be a 5 cost? I state my case. Thing First Steps, good card, like it a lot. Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut's frustrating. I like how people are actually cooking with the Thing First Steps now. It's not just in the Invisible Woman decks. It's left that shell a little bit, and I see it elsewhere, and I think that's good. I think that's healthy for the game. I don't think he's like too... I will honestly throw the lane I see him in most games. and then probably get Juggernauted into his lane. But I don't think he's too bad. I like him. I like that people are cooking with him. I think that's good.
I think Thing for Steps, Legion, still Cannonball, and Hellion are the class of, and I guess Iron Man are like.
Don't blink.
No, sorry.
Dude, the fives are good.
Blink's
Fives
great.
used to be the worst.
I think those five drops are the only 5 drops you should look at playing. I don't think you should run Blink unless it's a specific combo deck.
And CGR. I like those two a lot too. Enchantress and CGR.
Right, tech cards. Tech cards are different. Yeah. So Cosmic Ghost Rider and Enchantress. So, but those are tech cards. You're not running them because they're as a 5 drop. You're running them because you need a tech card, right?
Yeah. Welcome back, Nick.
But like I think like as far as proactive-ish tech cards, there's 5 cards you should be looking at, and every other 5 drop is just a bad card. 90% of the time.
IU is close, but they need to lower the power ceiling a bit because IU thrives in metas where power ceiling is a little bit lower because he's such a hard to interact with card. I like IU. I am a very much believer in the future of that card. It's just compliment is not right for him. I think people are always low on him though. Maybe just I
want that card to be good so badly. When it pops off, holy crap.
It's literally it's a good card, but it's just not the meta for it. And it sucks because the one meta there was for IU, I was on some crazy stats with him. But
he should just be a 5/8 with the stones being what they are, and he'd be basically perfect.
Okay, but that sounds broken to me. We're going from the move meta to the IU meta. Who gets Power Stone?
That's fine, but you don't get Power Stone enough of the time. Whatever.
Yeah, but we can talk about IU another time.
All right, Mobius and Negative versus Stardust and Hela. Ready? I'm not sure Hela needs to exist. I think Stardust is a healthy card. I think Mobius and Negative being deleted from the game would make the game more healthy.
I think Negative, yes. Mobius, kind of. I think there's some stuff that Mobius needs to stop, but I agree that Negative being deleted from the game is a good thing.
I think most of what Mobius needs to stop is things that operate like cheap Negative. Like double Ravonna bullshit-esque, I'm going to cheat a million combos out.
I think Mobius should be like... Okay, what you could say with Mobius is... Okay, maybe on reveal, set all the cost of cards in your opponent's hand to their base cost and like ruin any discounts there, or maybe like ongoing cards here don't affect cost discount. That kind of stuff with Mobius, but the problem is Negative. Mobius would need a rework if you got rid of Negative, I think, which I'm a proponent of. My personal favorite Negative change is he's a 4, 2, or 3 that flips only the top card of the deck. I think that's a much more interesting card, but we'll see. I hate Negative as much as you.
Bless you. That's fine. Okay. Sorry, my wife started sneezing. Duma?
I don't really like playing against Negative at all. It's like one of my least favorite things to do. I stay into it for 4 cubes way too often because I have like a Negasonic and something else, and I just think I can win, and then they end up filling the board. It's unbelievable. And it's like, you didn't even draw that many cards?
It is exactly believable. I think you have the wrong definition of unbelievable. That sounds like the most believable thing possible.
I know.
It's like, wait, the deck that does the thing did the thing, then the thing happened.
I know, but I don't want to believe it. There's no way. It's like all their cards are flipped, and they didn't even play Jane Foster sometime. It's like, you only drew 3 cards, man. And then, I just stay into it stupidly way too much. I don't enjoy playing. I don't play Mobius. I don't think it's strong unless you're like Chamo playing it on turn 5. And it's a good turn 5 play versus some decks, I guess. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. I don't see too much Negative either on ladder. I think I've seen it one time in the last like 3 or 4 days, so that's not bad. Mobius, I don't. I play Wiccan, man. I get extra energy. I don't worry about Mobius. Play your Mobius. Sarah isn't really popular. What else is discounting cards? Like, oh yeah,
She-Hulk, Sasquatch, Mockingbird,
She-Hulk, yeah.
Beast.
I love stopping
Ravonna,
people. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Bastion.
It's a lot. Bastion too. You got me, man. I guess. Yeah, kill Mobius. He takes the fun out, right? He makes you not play 5 She-Hulks because you moon girled and skipped a turn and activated your Black Swan. Like, get out of here. That's great. It's healthy. It's okay.
I think the problem with negative is without Mobius, there's very little to combat it. Sure, you can maybe Alioth if they do everything on the very last turn, but negative is another one of those weird decks that is one wrong tweak and it's unstoppable. One off-center change and it falls. Like it was like Thanos back in the day. It was either a tier 0 deck or it was a whatever kind of deck. And I think negative is that same way in a lot of respects. Especially trying to play, say, on ladder, you're going to lose a lot more games than I think a lot of other decks because, you don't get the Ravonna or you get a lot of the chunky cards in that hand in the very beginning of the game. But I know people
matter because Snap has hidden information.
Yeah. You don't know, like you have to be paying attention to, okay, how many cards did they have before turn 5? How many cards do they have in their hand after, playing the Jane Foster, being able to monitor that sort of stuff. I guess, when does it hit that point to where it goes over the oppressive level that it really needs to be modified? And is Mobius just the single-handed biggest damage caused to the game as a card?
No, because that's negative.
Yeah. So, like, if there's no negative, there's no need for Mobius. And the only thing that makes negative not the best or second best deck, because I think Move still might be better than negative, which is crazy to say, but it's true. Oh, I'm getting messages. The typhoon is arriving downtown. Yep. Sorry. The weather apparently in center town just got real typhoony real fast. So I just got messages from multiple people to be like, typhoon! Sorry. Mentally rewinding as my phone blows up. I think that negative is incredibly binary is my big problem. It's not just that it's good. It's that either they have the negative and they win or they run. And like if they have the negative and you're counting their cards, you're doing it wrong. You should probably run most of the time. You can choose to stay, but you're staying at a 40%. Negative's win rate on play is always completely fucking stupid. His Q rate on play is always completely fucking stupid because people convince themselves that they only drew 3 cards. Just fucking go. One of those cards is null, and then all that matters is if they had a Mystique, and now they've got 2 30 fucking power lanes. Like, you didn't do anything cute.
I prefer like if they got the destroy version over the Taskmaster Gore.
Sure, which that's a better version. It doesn't matter, and you don't know which version they have. They haven't tipped it off most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, are they going to drop null? Or are they going to drop? What are they going to drop? Who fucking knows? They could literally. It is the most binary, stupid bullshit in the game. You're supposed to run from it basically every time it happens.
Yeah, if they can play Iron Man, Mystique, Gore, Taskmaster, how do you?
It doesn't matter what they can do. Yeah. They could do none of that. It doesn't matter because enough of the time they can that you're supposed to run. And if you're supposed to run every time a thing happens, then the deck shouldn't exist to me. And the only reason we have Mobius is so it doesn't happen every time, and that's a fucking lame concept too.
Little side anecdote for the people that decided to listen 2 hours and 53 minutes into this podcast. My favorite place to play negative, if you want to be truly evil, is in an open deckless tournament. Because they know you have negative, and if you snap turn 2 every game, they always have to respect it. there was a game I played in a tournament, and I feel bad. Actually, I don't. It was against Move Bounce, which I hate even more. And they knew I was playing negative because I showed it turn 1. And every single game, turn 2, that they didn't play like Aranya turn 1, I snapped. And I snapped every single time. And they left pretty much every single time. I was bluffing over half the time, and the one time I had it was the one time they stayed and they lost bad. So it's just playing negative in that format is even more broken than normal because of like cube bullying. But regardless, I don't like the deck. The bully snaps that it produces are just, quite frankly, in one word, absurd.
Yeah, I'm ready for negative to go away. I just don't know what it adds to the game. It adds. Did you draw a negative to the game? Cool, thanks. I'm ready for it to go away.
Yeah, or make more things 1 power instead of 0. Maybe take a card or 2 out of there.
Look, if you get rid of Jane fundamentally, or just make the Jane synergy not work, right? That would be fine too. And then then they have to really rely on magic. That'd be fine too. But I think we're doing backflips to just say negative is the problem. Now we're trying to nerf everything around negative instead of just fucking taking care of negative.
Put rocks in their deck.
Do we need a tier list of the problem decks? Like not a tier list of the best decks, but a tier list of the decks that actively make the game a problem.
I mean, there's 2. It's a move and negative, and to some extent Hela. But I think Hela does the thing doesn't mean Hela auto wins, which I think is much better. Whereas negative does the thing means negative auto wins. That's why there's a versus between them on my little slideshow, because I think that difference is fundamental to how the experience of playing against them. I don't feel good losing to Hela, but I feel like, oh wow, or and you get those everything went to the wrong lane, or they've got 2 cards it can bring back and it brings back the wrong one. Old Hela was disgusting and didn't need to exist. New Hela, I think Stardust is probably enough. Even if I'm a little it could use a small nerf. Maybe it itself has a little less power kind of thing. But negative doesn't have any of that.
You know what I wondered? Do they need a Stardust
not
card?
Solitaire?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a Stardust card for negative. There is a Stardust card for negative.
No. What I was saying is something that limits your ability to draw cards from your deck. Stop that Jane interaction.
Just get rid of Jane. Widow? Just say Jane does. I mean, just say Jane. Jane is in negative and fucking Thor's decks, right? Just say it has to have a native cost of 0.
Just say Jane pulls created cards that cost 0.
Yeah, sure, great. Anything along those lines, right? There's a million different. There you go. Yeah, there's a million different changes you can make to Jane. Well, you can't make 5/10s now because Scar decks exist.
You know what? That one can be a 5/10. That one's cool.
Okay.
You're Jane, so generous.
Who's running Jane in the start? Okay, who's running Jane?
You were running Arrow as a blank 5/10 half the time in that deck.
Okay, but we have since passed the point where Surtur is good. So the Scar decks now are Sauron.
Yeah, but the part of the reason we passed the point Surtur is good because there's not a 5/10.
No, the reason we passed the point Surtur's good is because Surtur no longer hits 10. Maybe that changes because of Andy. But no, you have Red Skull. Surtur's not a problem.
Yeah.
So run Surtur.
You have to run a whole package for Red Skull.
You have to run 2 cards. Well, no, you have to run 0 and Sauron. You don't even need to run the Enchantress.
Yeah, and I guess you're probably running them anyway for I guess you're probably right. Okay, you convinced me. Good one. All right. Either way, delete fucking negative.
Yes.
Or figure out how to delete what negative is right now. I get tagged in a million, and I love QWERTY, right? QWERTY is a great person, but he tags me every other day with an infinite ticket with a negative list. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Okay, infinite tickets. Are we really talking about infinite tickets? Conquest is a competitive mode.
Wow. Okay. I think. Hold on. We need to put a pin in that for
that's a whole
other podcast. Yeah.
All right.
I want to hear. Anyway.
So Zabu, Surge, and Mr. Fantastic First Steps. I'm basically giving you a hot take for this section and letting you take off is what this is turning into, and because otherwise we'll be here for 17 years. So
yeah, we're past Godfather, I think, at this point.
Mr. Fantastic First Steps is still the best of these cards, and is severely underplayed because he's way worse than he was before. Because obviously 3/4 is worse than 2/2 for his ability, but he's still the best of these cards and one of the best cards. Probably top 20-ish in the game. Better than Surge or Zebu. And I see
Did you not tell him did you not tell us he was just dead card?
No,
I don't think it's changed, but
we were talking about him with Viv and stuff.
No, I said you play him over Viv.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't think he's that good. I think he's good, but I don't think he's that good. I agree that he's underplayed, but I think Surge is just better. At the 3-cost line, you want to be playing something that like actively benefits your strategy, like a main synergy piece instead of a setup piece. I think Fantastic's a setup piece. I think he's a very good setup piece, but I think Surge is better just because it costs 2. I don't think it's that much better because I think Surge is quite frankly very overrated in the public perception, but I do think it's better.
You know what I'll say about Surge? Surge makes it fun to play those cards. It sucks when it's a card you don't want to play at that point in time, but it feels more interactive than Fantastic First Steps, where you're just hoping he hits the cards that you want him to hit in the way you want him to hit it. Surge, I don't know. I like playing Surge. It feels like you are contributing to the game versus, oh, cool, you've got him down. He's going to do a couple things that hopefully will be exactly what you need. And sometimes they are the best possible things to do.
Yeah, Surge is all right. Zabu, I hate. Fantastic First Steps.
No! OBS just disconnected. The weather got bad. It'll reconnect in a second. We can keep going. Like, it got real bad outside. My wife's about to go outside and pick up food. Grab the kid so you can... Yeah. All right, sorry. OBS will reconnect momentarily. Yeah, there's a typhoon, so the weather is... Yeah, there we go. We reconnected. Sorry about that, everyone. There is a literal, actual typhoon outside. Hi, Shang Enjoyer. Blah, blah, blah. So you know what the secret best card that's not listed here is? Surfer First Steps. I'm in love with Surfer First Steps. Holy shit. For either Gwenpool or Surge. So as I was arguing for Mr. Fantastic, I was like, unless you Surfer First Steps it. If you Surfer First Steps it, oh my god. Surfer First Steps Surge is fucking insane.
I do love it in
both of those cards.
I like IP Surfer First Steps. Get the 2 -3s. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the Wiccan deck,
and everything's so good.
Like, I was like, oh, that's so stupid. I played it. I was like, oh, because you're not losing that lane. You have 11. You just play 2 of those and you have 11 power there. Enjoy all of the energy. Like, it's bananas. Like,
I've seen some Surfer First Steps Ares stuff. I think that's cool too. With that,
I hit a couple of those. I was like,
instantly get your scar to 1. There's something.
Yeah. You got to mess with that one some more in your Sauron list.
Probably.
There's little reason
I got
you can't
tons
fit
of
that.
stuff. I got like 6 different tribunal lists I want to try first.
Oh, okay. Well, and now you have a Victoria Hand list, so
that too. And I also got a whole Silk Song game to play. So
I love Surfer First Steps. It's so good.
One of the people convinced me to play that damn card.
I have a hot take though at the number 7 spot at the end of this. Wait,
we got one more and then we're there.
Yeah.
All right, Nightmare still sucks. Sauron's still awesome. I don't think you need either in the Scar deck. I think there's probably a Scar deck that doesn't bother with them.
Is that Scar deck?
I mean, you fucking spoiled it by going over Awesome Andy because I was going to talk about that here. But
I mean,
I didn't know you were going to say that. But like, no, you can run.
I've gone through mastery on him. I know everything there is to know about Andy.
No, but like Andy and like Surfer First Steps into Ares, and I don't think like
I covered your whole stick.
Yeah, I don't. Well, but I don't know if you need to go into like I don't need to know if you need to bother with Sauron or Nightmare.
Nightmares. Okay. Nightmares.
So what's wait, sorry. One last thought. What Sauron lets you do is play Starbrand, and everything else you play with him is something I think I could do better at a different cost. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Nightmare, I think... Okay. How do I put this? If move gets hit, Nightmare could be a very real contender for the first time ever. The reason I'm saying this is because Nightmare's biggest weakness as a deck was Shang-Chi. Nightmare goes taller than a lot of decks. But Nightmare does have that weakness to Chi. And in a metagame where she is the weakest of the tech cards, and the people are still running other tech cards, Nightmare doesn't care about any of their tech cards. It only cares about Shang, because you're putting out a Starbrand, a Red Skull, and an Enchantress right now. Those are your three big Nightmare cards. I think Nightmare is close to being good. I think it just needs the tier 0 taken off, and I think Nightmare is a legitimate contender in the meta. I think last meta, it was way overrated because people are going crazy with combo, and you kind of need tech unless you're Tribunal or Torch, Tribunal, or Move. This meta minus Move, I can see Nightmare being an actually real card, which I'm excited. I like Nightmare. I think it's fun.
I think I want more points on 3 in those decks. That's where I land. I don't want to play a 3-1. I want to play a 3-10. I want to play a 3-8. I want to play a 3-5 that I can make a 3-11.
That's fair too. I mean, maybe I like Nightmare a lot. I've played Nightmare I played Nightmare on his release, and I like Climb.
More fun and interesting card than every other card I've mentioned except for First Steps in this section. But
and yet you still don't want to play.
It could be a 3-3. This card could
somebody
be a 3-3.
Plays Nightmare and snaps, I am way more scared of that than
I don't even respect it anymore.
Okay, are you playing combo or are you playing mid range? If you're playing mid range, I'm like pooping my pants. I'm terrified. If I'm playing combo, they don't have any answer to what I'm doing unless they got Cole, Shang.
Yeah, you have to like play big shit in the meta right now, right? Like my Victoria Hand list that I'm playing is the Victoria Hand list that puts up like fucking 50 points. If you just played Nightmare, you don't have an Enchantress anymore. I've got fucking Torch. If you're playing the only mid-range shit that exists right now is I'm convinced the only mid-range deck that exists is the Juggernaut fucking thing for Steps 1.
Yeah.
Like in a day a day after this comes out or 2 days after this comes out, Invisible Woman is no longer a mid-range deck. It's now a go over the fucking top deck, right? Like,
oh yeah, Jocasta's really soon.
That's just where we live. We live in a go over the top meta. So like, okay, you have fun with that. You have fun with your Nightmare.
But that won't last too, to be fair. Like, yes, it'll be there.
I
really hope it will last. I think Snap knows that if
they
that
just made a
lasts,
series of decisions to make this last longer than the 2 weeks that they had planned it for.
I actually kind of disagree. I think that it's not going to last that long. The problem is we have a tier 0 deck and it's warping a lot of stuff right now. I think that we're seeing things through a cloudy view because we have this deck that invalidates every other tech card but Mercury. So no one's playing any other tech cards but Mercury because they only get focused on that matchup, and they're just trying to combo over each other. I think that when that deck is addressed, we're going to see a much more real metagame. We're going to see a lot more tech cards get played like normal. I just think this is the symptom of having a tier 0 deck. When tier 0 decks go away, other tech comes back. With Thanos was like really good earlier this year, the only tech cards that we're seeing play were the tech cards that were good into Thanos. That was it.
Well, and Thanos was running all the tech cards itself.
I mean, the only tech card, but I mean, Thanos, the only tech cards Thanos, first of all, I don't think that Thanos tech, I think that Thanos tech build was massively overrated. I don't think that was the tier 0. I think the ongoing one was. But it's like
we're close enough that it depended on the week.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I just think tier 0 decks really warp a meta, and I think we're seeing a warped meta as opposed to a fair meta. I think this is reasonably the first tier 0. We've already discussed, but this is the first tier 0 deck in over a year. We're dealing with some warped meta. I don't think we can make any meta calls or judgments until we see what a metagame is like without Move.
So my theory right now is that they've decided to push us aggressively, heavily toward running combo decks. They want their game, at least for the next bit, and we'll see how long this lasts, but I think that bit could be longer than people are anticipating. They want to push us towards building sandcastles. They're saying, you have all these different tentpoles for all these different gigantic sandcastles. Go play all the sandcastles. I think Move is clearly the tier 0 deck. I don't disagree with anything you've said about that. But I think without Move, what are you choosing to copy? Are you choosing to copy the triple tribunal? Are you choosing to copy the stupid giant Victoria Hand? Are you choosing to copy the 40 power Scar lanes? Are you choosing to copy to counter, not copy. Copy is totally the wrong word. What are you choosing to counter of these? Which of these are you tech carding? Because I think there's like 6 different sandcastles that, are you choosing to counter Hela? are you using to counter negative? Which sandcastle are you going to go up against? And then are you taller than that sandcastle is, I think, the meta for a little while.
Well, I mean, like, over half of those decks, 3 of them take damage from Enchantress. I think I'm just playing an Enchantress deck. I think Sauron Scar is going to be... I think Sauron Scar, after this stuff, is going to be the best deck.
I agree.
But I think when that happens, you start to see Chi come back, and Chi matters against that deck. Let's not act like Chi's a dead card.
I just don't believe you.
That deck's entire point is going 4+3 on 6 with the Loon energy. You're going Juggernaut Negasonic plus Starbrander Scar. You don't get Scar now. Starbrand you can't play down. It all of a sudden becomes a lot harder to get that discount without that. I think
they just have so many fewer points. You still won the Chi
You still have points, but if you're supplementing Chi with an okay points package, it's fine. Granted, I think Chi should probably be a 4/4 if he's keeping this new tax, but I think he's better than you're giving him credit for.
I don't think so, but we'll see. Time will tell.
We'll see. We'll see how it works out.
If all the cards we're trying to kill are 10, I think I agree that so many are 12 or like more is a different thing. But that's fine. We'll get there. All right.
Yeah.
It is your take time, friends. Duma says he has one. What you got?
Okay, I actually have 2 takes. One thing I want to do, like a kind of a call out. I really enjoyed. There was a video that Heart of the Cards posted where he actually didn't post a like deck lists. He actually presented like the stronger combos in the game, and he said take these combos and go like build something that you're gonna have fun playing. And I think there is a big something to say about like having fun with what you're doing. And I just really respected that. One of the things that I took out of that was like, because I really enjoy Merlin and Werewolf for some reason. So to this day, I'm running that in my Wiccan list, and I'm having just so much fun with Wiccan this season. And what brings me to my second take is Kang. I think Kang is insane. I love Kang. I think that he makes Wiccan way more consistent. I'm running Quicksilver with Domino, but I'm also running Merlin and Mercury in the 2 slot. And then for 3s, I'm just doing Werewolf, Kang, and Copycat. And Kang adds 4 3s to the deck, so I'm always seeing 1, 2, and 3 every single time. And the best part is, if I don't see Wiccan, I still have my Cosmic Ghost Rider, Negasonic, and Cannonball to bail me out of situations. And if you look at Kang, like, there's not that many negative things he could be. He could be a goblin, sure. That's not great. But he could be... I've won so many games with Kang, turning into Professor X, Iron Man, Gore... Darkhawk, Ronin, Alioth, Zola, Black Panther, Blue Marvel, Claw, Shuri. Like, he can turn into so many things, even like a Wolfsbane. He turns into so many things. And I love that. It reminds me of, when it's like, oh, what was his Iron Patriot card? It's like, what kind of Kangs is this dude rocking right now? And I'm having a blast with it. I'm actually climbing. I'm not able to. I play probably 20, 30 games a day at most. And I've just been having this Kang change is great. it's been a lot of fun for me. So I'm here to represent and call out Kang. I think hopefully more people will start playing around with him, because I don't think the V-Hand list was the best Kang list. I don't really understand that, but the consistent 3 you can get out of him for the Wiccan Curb has been treating me very well. And I also run Galactus First Steps in that deck too, so it's been really fun. I got nothing else to say about it.
I agree that Kang is fun and Kang is good. I have been loving playing Kang. So I've been playing him in a different deck. I have been playing Kang in Agamotto since day one. So
that's you? I've seen those stats.
Not that much, but I have been playing quite a bit of it. It is my go-to fun deck. So me and I know Stefan Slicenberger on Discord, if you don't know Stefan, but he plays a lot of it too. And I really like it. I'm a big fan of information asymmetry cards. Really like Iron Patriot, really like Copycat. Those kind of cards are right up my alley. Kang is right up my alley. Really like Kang. I think he's a really cool card. As for the Heart of the Cards videos, Heart of the Cards, good friend of mine. Has not played much Snap in a while. Heart of the Cards is back on the net deck me and then make something better in 3 weeks train. So we'll see what he comes up with for Scar Starbrand Jug stuff. But I really think that there is something to that. You should find combos you like. You should make them better. I used to really enjoy Surfer Abs, man. I made it good. You can find people that really enjoy like Tribunal. They make it good. Play what you like. If you're playing a deck and you're mad playing it, you won't have fun playing the game and you won't win either.
I will say something really quickly, and then I actually am going to have to run and take my dogs out. They are desperate. I love the fact that Kang can, if I'm not mistaken, can pull Kang's text and just be a nothing card. I was just like, wait, did I break the game or something? And then I realized I'm like, oh, technically, it's like getting Copycat, and you're just like
Loki also does that. Loki gives you a Kang.
Dude,
the Kang.
I posted it in the Facebook group. My Kang was an Iron Lad who hit Kang off of the top of the deck. And it's like this picture of the Kangs like copying one another, and it like totally glitched the game out. But it's hilarious because Iron Lad is also Kang, so it was just like the Kang gangbang of all time.
Love a good Kang bang. On that note, if you guys are gone before I get back, all my love. I love all you guys. Doom and Luma, is nice to see you in person. I'm sorry to have to. Boogie,
hey,
I will try to be back as soon as possible.
Have a good one, Nick.
All right. There's no chance he takes less than an hour. All right. So I don't like it in Wiccan because I like drawing Wiccan. I don't even like running Domino in Wiccan because I like drawing Wiccan. But Kang has been significantly better than I thought. This is the only time I've ever enjoyed Arishem. Like I really, really, really like Kang and Arishem. Like a lot. Way more than I thought. And I don't like running 3s in Arishem.
Like 27 card pickup, you like that
37
one?
card Monty,
or 30.
baby.
So I'm not running the Agamotto version. I'm running the just Thanos version.
Thanos 33?
Yeah, 33. I don't love Agamotto in it anymore.
Is it Kraken's list?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had. I saw one of those stats. He had like an 80% win rate in 90 games. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" And I don't like this.
Play it. It's disgusting. It's so good, and Kang is unreal in that list. Vorum's stats were also quite fucking stupid in that list.
Vorum's like the best Irishman player, though. That's fair.
He is unbelievably good at Irishman. Like, when people are like, it's just the deck and the tech, and it's like you don't know. No.
Shout out my Alliance Irishman goat right there.
But yeah. It is crazy good and worth doing for sure. I think Kang is a card that we want to play in Marvel Snap as a general rule. As a general rule, we want to be Marvel Snap Kang players right now. Figuring out the right shell has been hard because adding cards to your deck is not always good.
It's going to take time, but really good card.
A lot of Marvel Snap is doing two things I don't like very much right now, and I like Kang, but I don't like the trend of increasing variance so that you never know what's happening on the last turn of the game. I think that decreases skill in a meaningful way. Iron Patriot, Arishem, Kang, a million cards do that. I got pizza with hot honey, so I'm going to stop talking soon and eat pizza with hot honey while on screen, and y'all can talk about this. But no, that's spicy. No, this isn't Prada. There's no Prada on it. Sorry. I'm having conversations about pizza. I'm going to let it rock there. This is a 3-hour podcast already. Go ahead. Got any hot takes?
Other than Human Torch, not many hot takes from me. Most people kind of know my MO. A lot of hidden information stuff is what I really like. That's why I mentioned my perceived hot takes already that Infinity Ultron is a good card.
It's a fine
I also don't like many 6-drops as well. Like, I think 6-drops as a whole are overrated. Like, I think Galactus First Steps is very overrated. I win a lot of cubes seeing my opponent just drop a Galactus First Steps when I've already mathed for it. The one, I guess, hot take I have is for the players playing Snap. If you're playing Snap and meaningfully expect to climb, my hot take is that you should have a pen and paper next to you so you can do the math out every time. Don't just eyeball it. If you really care about climbing, do the math, put in the extra 2 points of effort, you'll get 100 SP from it. That's how I climb when I really want to.
Agreed all around. Carla, can you be a little careful around the screen a lot?
What other hot takes do I have? Oh my gosh. Did you let's talk a little bit about, I mean, how fun are these Morgan Le Fay Airwalker decks?
Mm-hmm.
Also the Airwalker Fire Lord Cerebro decks.
What?
I mean, you didn't see that one?
I didn't. We can talk about
it's
Cerebro for a bit, though.
Yes, Cerebro.
Oh, Cerebro's supposed to be here. Yeah, Cerebro needs to be nerfed.
Yes, Cerebro should be nerfed.
We can put it back to a +2 now. Thanks. We had our fun. It's broken.
Actually, I have a more interesting change that I like for Cerebro. Make him a 3/4. C2 and 3 are gone. Just you gotta play C4, 5, or 6. You gotta go all in.
That's interesting.
I like that a lot more. I think that if you're gonna just kick 2 and 3, just kick them to the curb. I'm so done playing against Jawala for the 60th time, running every single tech card in the deck, and I'm just like, what can I do? If I'm running Red Skull, I snap turn 1 and he leaves. It's like, how do I just? This is literally Saratech 2. It's literally just Saratech, but it actually puts out 30 points in 2 lanes. Mm-hmm. What are we doing here? Change it back. Let it be a meme again. I don't care. Too good. I hate it.
For sure.
It's not fun to play against either. It's just
so linear. You can argue that you don't like Snap having very variable turn 6s, but at the very least, I find that fun. Even if it's not that skill inducing, it's fun seeing all the crazy Kangs and the pop-offs and all that stuff. It's fun to play. It's fun. It's maybe less fun to play against, but it's not as fun as I lose to Cerebro. I gotta retreat for 2. I guess it's done. And then the worst part is that they're bluffing after, and then you just want to go crazy. And
however, I love Cerebro 5. Cerebro 5 is so good forever.
C5 is fine. With
any
the
deck that plays
really cool.
Doom proper is I'm about
C5
it.
is cool. C5's fine. Make Cerebro a 3/4. There you go.
Too. Yeah, maybe I like that. Maybe I like
Make
that.
Make it 3/4. Just cut out C2 and 3.
All right, 3 hours into this podcast, I have neglected my family enough. We are variant of the week. Colleen Wing. Who chose Jacinto?
I did. That was me.
Tell us about it. Why'd you pick it?
I do oil paintings, and I'm big into art, and I am just a big fan
You've never sent me one, but that's fine.
I will send you an oil painting. I learned from the Bob Ross when I was in high school, and I just kept going with it. I even made a little small business sip and paint out of it. So I'm into that, and I really, really like her work. It's all good. I play every variant I have that's Jacinto is in my decks. The Annihilus, the Nimrod, all of it. So her style, hands are fascinating to me. They're really hard to pull off, and she always has the hand coming up and doing some funky stuff. It looks good. And dude, you can't pick Pandar. That's all AI stuff, isn't it? We don't want AI art.
The Pandar.
I may own every Jacinto in the game. I went and bought everyone I found. I haven't seen a new one for months. I may have everyone. It's only second.
This is gonna come as very contrarian, but I've held this for a while. I'm not a fan of Jacintos. I used to have a joke that I always did every time someone would post a Jacinto. where it's just like a stick figure with this really detailed hand drawing and like action figures around it. And I was like, this is literally every single Kim Jacinto variant. It is all just one body part at the very front, super action pose, and then the rest of it is just like whatever. Like you only care about that 1% of the card. Like I respect it. It's kind of cool. They all just look, they all just look the same to me. It's sort of like a Pandart sort of thing. They're all just so similar. Like I like variants that stand out.
Oh, I work with 17 Filipino people. I can get the Jacinto thing settled tomorrow. Tomorrow. I promise you I will have that answer for you.
Jacinto.
It's probably, I think it's Jacinto.
So a Filipino person last time I said Jacinto corrected me. I was like, no, it's Jacinto. But like now I don't even have to fucking like, I'm just going to walk into work and the 6 people that are at literally my desk, as like our desks are in like big squares.
Yeah,
I'm just
like,
going to
read
Jacinto
this for me.
That's it. It will be solved. They will look at me like I'm an idiot and they will answer me and then they'll make fun of me for a little bit.
Start the next episode of Snap Takes with that.
There you go. All right. Which one did you pick?
I picked the middle one. I really like the Akram style of art. This is the style I really like. It's got some very vibrant colors. I really love color in Marvel Snap art, especially ones that pop. The hair is such a really nice red. It pops out. I think the pose is sick. It's got such a different like style. The Akram variants are all like really cool. They remind me of like that old Japanese artwork and stuff like that. We have like all the samurai stuff. This really looks like a samurai. It's just very cool. I like it. Disappointed I couldn't get this one in the bundle just because I don't play a lot of Colleen, but this is an absolutely dope variant.
This one's sick. I was a big Sekiro fan. I like the Soul series, and I'm really into the art on that middle one as well. That would be my second.
The Jacinto is the one I actually play, but I picked the cat one because it's an orange cat. And I have an orange cat. I don't know where he is.
He's not here.
Oh, he left. He was here. Oh, he's here. Sorry, he's here. See, the whole family's in the room.
We can do a live variant pose.
Go 3 hours and 20 minutes on a podcast. So,
live variant pose, pulse holding the cat.
Yeah, that's me. Except, I tried to hold the cat up to the camera on my last stream, and he bit me and ran away. So we're not going to try that again. But our orange kitty in picture means win. Also, I really, really like the middle one. To me, that's not the right color for Colleen's hair, and that bothers me. I don't know why, but it does. That's just not her hair color.
Just a beautiful red.
It's cool looking. It's just that's Mary Jane's hair color or Jean Grey's hair color, not Colleen Wing's.
Really good red.
I guess. If you're, I'd rather it be green for Celtics. Hey, Loma. Why should people follow you?
Oh man, this is. I mean, people should follow me because I play to have fun. So you're not gonna see me grinding the best decks every single time, right? You're gonna see I play varieties of decks. I'm constantly switching it up, and I'm always trying to cook different stuff. So that would be that.
No. Sorry. I think you should follow Doomaluma because I like him a lot. And I'm going to force him to be the Bob Ross of Marvel Snap where he's going to do an oil painting while he plays Snap. We're going to see how that goes. You got to be different. You can't just do the same thing everyone else does. You can't just be like, I get on and I play games and I talk from my play. You're going to have to see. It's right there.
Very nice.
Come on.
Well, that's beautiful.
We got some right there.
That's really nice.
It's awesome.
They're everywhere.
You gotta paint a picture of Kang turning into Gore next.
Dude, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And you know what's funny? Like, these paintings probably 30 minutes to an hour. So, I mean, it wouldn't even be a big deal for a stream.
That's real talent right there. Good for you, dude.
Joke.
Hey, I appreciate that.
So the question is, do you do Iron Lad turning into Kang, turning into Gore?
Dude,
is that your ultimate goal?
We could do that, like how they show the animal like turn, or the human turning into the animal. I could do something like that.
There you go.
Like the Kang turning into the Gore.
Please. As always, when someone is new to streaming, new to the Marvel Snap creative community, we make sure we show up and follow. So make sure you're following Doomaluma, and I will make sure that I bully Doomaluma into streaming at least more than Nick the Greek Geek.
Won't be difficult to do.
I will do it. I promise. I'll get on a schedule. Thank you.
Please. Follow Smiles. Smiles, what do you do on Snap Academy on YouTube?
All right. So on Snap Academy, we do two things. One, we do the 8 Cube Circus podcast every single week with me, Zene, Denish, and some guests. We have fun,
But
first
not
of all, on the
guests.
podcast. A lot of jokes. And second of all, we talk very high-level Marvel Snap. If you want to get better at the game, I personally don't think there's many better places to go. I got really good at Snap this past year, and a lot of that was from listening to high infinite level community. What I'm trying to do on my podcast is really bring that high level infinite community into an easily understandable and, although long, manageable piece of content. Most of our podcasts run less than this. So
Everything's less than this.
I
This
think-
one went crazy.
So the other thing that we do in Snap Academy is some occasional tips and like deck guides. That is going to get ramped up soon. My schedule is getting a little bit more free. I'm pretty busy. So I do YouTube when I can. There will be some upcoming videos. There's one about the decks I used to hit top 10 last season. And there is going to be a very exciting video coming up about Living Tribunal. So if you're interested in Tribunal, make sure to
I'm not.
hit that
Unsub.
YouTube account. Tribunal's a lot more interesting than you're giving it credit for. It's
No, I
better
like
than
Tribunal a lot.
Negative by far.
Yes. I like it with Torch, and I like the triple Iron Man deck.
Not
Those are cool decks.
Torch. Iron Man. It's great.
I like the Torch Tribunal deck. I do. Sorry.
It's fun. But yeah, that's why you should follow Snap Academy YT. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Having fun.
Yeah. So, I mean this seriously. Lambie used to do these like videos that were just about the technique of Snap, where he would explain snapping or whatever at length. Snap Academy and Heart. So like they're linked in my head. I know they're not the same thing. But like Snap Academy and Heart are the best learning tool for Marvel Snap since Lambie stopped doing those. Like if you want to get to high infinite, like you can get decks from me or Cam, and then go get Theory and go get all the. My son just dropped his iPad and it scared the shit out of me. Sorry, but like if you want to get better at Snap, you go watch Heart's videos, you go watch the Snap Academy videos, and if you do what they say, you will improve a massive amount. So do that, especially if that's like a hole in your content that you should be getting.
Rough.
Especially
Friends over
considering
there.
TLSG's not around either.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. I love TLSG, but that's not what TLSG is to me.
You can also
No offense. It's
you
just
can
that's
also
not his
find
niche.
a lot of Snap Academy people and Heart and voice calls really all around.
Mhm.
Most of the time, Rorum's Discord. You can find us occasionally in the main Marvel Snap Discord. Come around, say hi if I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm
And
in there
what's
quite
nice
a bit.
is that they're public voice calls too. So like a lot of
Yes.
I don't want to say a lot, but like I'm in 2 or 3 other competitive Discords where the voice calls when they do them are private to like quote unquote top players, right? And like this group's is always public.
We just we're very welcoming. You want to
Mhm.
get better at Snap? We can help you get better at Snap. If you're willing to put the work in, we can give you all the resources you'd like. That's the whole
Maybe?
philosophy.
Want me to talk to you about something off stream? I just had an idea. We'll talk.
All right. I'll talk to
All
you tomorrow anyways about something else.
Yeah, you got to go to sleep. All right. I got to read a whole bunch of Patreon names very quickly so we can end this podcast. And I've got pizza staring at me looking very beautiful right now. Okay. Thank you to our patrons: Jonesy, Snap 22, Abigail, Cement Turbiner, Irregulars, LEB, Inc., Iron Frost, Hot Down, Prime Darn, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood, Snap. No, if you don't stop them, I'm going to kick your butt. Run Ranch, Gopher Kev, Kelter, Caretix League, Corey, Kazuchi, Archangel 3K, Black Tie, Profos, The Goat Seeker, Code, Hallowed, Synth, Fat Dick, Absolute Shannon, Dirty Casual, Dark Moogle, Mr. Ruffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philly, Happel, Kenny Electro, Danger, The Biz, Black TB23, Extra C, Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Slushot, The King of Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kev Ciota, Clam, Colonel Foreman, Rob Sullivan, David G. Wingfield, Stephen Brown, Copper, Jason Martin, Jason B, Matt V, Ray Sean Smith, Oh no, Chucky. Chucky's not here. Charles Washington. Sorry, Charles. I'm using last week's. Corman, Chunk Q, Jimmy Q, Yes Tap, One Big Man, Cactus Jack, Reapster, Steve 0131, Yo Marco, Ted Pro, Crypto Joe, Snapchat, Scissors Joe. Check out Snapchat Podcast, please. Biggity Boom Bop, Bricks 2, Click, Green Goblin, Unibot V2, Flumpy Music, Spectrum X, Hoot, Only Fox, Matt H, DJ, Mike Isaac, No Freaking Flex, Nick, the Greeky, Kind Nick, Toxic Soul King, who's hopefully asleep, Zadric 74, the King, Canada, JJ, Deadman Falcon, Falcon, Number 2 Times, Great Widows, the Hair King, Tucker, and of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for 3 hours later. We're done. I'm not even giving you a chance. We all talked enough. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.
Night, y'all.
Good night.